Chapter 816. She was still thinking about what Lian had told her. Now that she looked at him, her heart felt sour, and she did not know what to say. She could not control her pounding heartbeat. "Daddy, why are you back so early?" Xiao Bao shouted happily when he saw him. Tang Bao looked at the two babies and patted their little heads. "Daddy's company is on holiday, so I don't have to work for many days. Do you want me to accompany you?" "That's great, I'm so happy." Xiao Bao jumped up and down. Tang Bao looked up and turned around. He saw Di Hao Ian walking out of the kitchen. "I'll make it." Tang Bao put his briefcase aside and walked towards the kitchen. When he entered the kitchen and saw the semi-finished products in an orderly manner, he did not know how to start. He asked, "What dish are you going to make?" Just as he turned around, he was shocked by Di Hao Ian, who was too close to him. He could not help but take a step back. "You know how to make it? You weren't around last time, so I made it. Maybe it's not as good as yours. Do you want to eat it?" Tang Bao asked deliberately. "Even if you put poison in it, I'll eat it all." Di Hao Ian moved closer and confessed ambiguously. Tang Bao's face was heating up. "I'll eat it too. I don't want to eat poisoned food." Di Hao Ian kissed her lips. "I'll make it. You can help me." In the end, it became Di Hao Ian as the head chef and Tang Bao as the sous chef. Such a scene, even Tang Bao himself had a wonderful feeling of being immersed in it. She did not have the heart to ruin it. However, she was most focused on Di Hao Ian. His expression, his every move, even in the kitchen, still made people feel that he was noble, elegant, and inviolable. If Lian did not tell her about T's transfer today, how long was Di Hao Ian going to keep it from her? Was he going to keep it a secret for the rest of his life? How did he know that she would want him? Or did he want to be entangled with her for the rest of his life? Even a crazy person would not make such a bet. This was definitely disadvantageous to Di Hao Ian. "What are you thinking about?" Di Hao Ian's low and hoarse voice came into Tang Bao's ears, bringing him back to reality. Since when was Di Hao Ian by her side? They were so close to each other. She was a little uncomfortable. "Nothing much. It's just that I resigned from my job. I want to open my own studio, and I want to open it in D-City." Di Hao Ian's black eyes were slightly stunned. He stared at her intently, his gaze so sharp that it seemed to drill into her soul. "What did you say?" "Can I?" Tang Bao looked up at him with dissatisfaction. "Why do you have this idea?" Di Hao Ian's observation skills were indeed not to be underestimated. Tang Bao tried his best to make himself look calm. "I'm thinking that I don't want you to run around. Most importantly, I want the children to study in D-City. What do you think?" Di Hao Ian directly pulled her into his arms domineeringly and forcefully. "As long as you're by my side, everything is fine." Tang Bao's face was pillowed on Di Hao Ian's sturdy chest. She thought to herself, "Di Hao Ian, your expectations are really low." Since the beginning of the meal, Tang Bao felt that Di Hao Ian's gaze was especially hot. It landed on her frequently. His gaze seemed to be curved, as if it could drill into her body. It made her heart beat faster. It was just a matter of moving the studio to D-City and letting the two babies study in D-City. There was no need for his gaze to be so obvious, right? She was starting to regret telling Di Hao Ian. She had a feeling that her days at night would be very tough. Yes, Di Hao Ian was like a wild beast smelling the scent of female. He couldn't control himself. If it weren't for the children, he would have directly pressed her down on the dining table and devoured her like a feast. As soon as they entered the room, Di Hao Ian pressed Tang Bao against the door and kissed her passionately. I'm going to take a shower. I'll help you." Di Hao Ian's breathing was heavy. "No, you can't go." After Tang Bao said that, she felt Di Hao Ian pausing. He looked up at her with his dark eyes. "Then I'll give you 3 minutes." 3 minutes? I still need to wash my hair. 20 minutes. Did he think she was the Flash? 10 minutes. That's too little. 19 minutes. That's too long. I can't wait. Take a look for yourself. Di Hao Ian stood in front of her calmly. Can't wait? What was he trying to do? As she thought about it, Tang Bao wanted to take a look. She felt that she didn't dare to look at him. Just one look gave her quite a scare. It was too scary. This person was definitely not a normal person. Di Hao Ian leaned forward again and kissed the tip of her nose and mouth intimately. This is really torturous. Why can't the two of us take a shower together? Not only does it save time, but also saves water. Don't say things like saving water, okay? Tang Bao blushed and dodged his kisses. Di Hao Yin chuckled dotingly and bit her soft red lips. Go and take a shower. Tang Bao took her pajamas, lowered her eyes, and ran away. After running into the bathroom, Tang Bao's face was so red in the mirror that it was about to burn. Why was she blushing? He had been bullying her for a long time. Why was she still not used to it? She suddenly felt that she was always shy and unable to resist in front of him. Tang Bao wanted to cry, but had no tears. She really wanted to get rid of Di Hao Yin. But how could he let her off so easily? Worried and shy, Tang Bao could not help but ponder for a moment while she was taking a shower. Bao, if it's more than 19 minutes, I'll break in. Di Hao Yin's deep and hoarse voice came from outside. Tang Bao was so scared that she trembled and almost dropped the pajamas in her hands. This person was really... Tang Bao felt that this scene was very similar to a prey that was forced to hide in a cave while a wild beast kept pacing back and forth at the entrance of the cave, thinking of a way to enter the cave and eat the prey in one bite. This kind of feeling of being remembered was really terrifying. She was nervous that she would be eaten by Di Hao Yin later. Tang Bao did not dare to delay and quickly took a shower. After she was done, she walked out of the bathroom and found Di Hao Yin outside the bathroom door. His back was leaning against the wall lazily as he waited for her. When she came out, his dark eyes were like a dangerous whirlpool that could engulf her at any time. Tang Bao, who had just come out of the shower, had a beautiful face that was as red as an attractive apple that made people want to take a bite and swallow it. The slender posture of a lotus flower emerging from the water, the pink stain on her fair skin, and the poisonous fragrance in the air defeated his tough nerves. That, you could take a shower. Tang Bao turned and ran. Chapter 8:17. She didn't see Di Hao Yin, which meant that he had indeed gone into the bathroom. What should she do? Should she try to save herself tonight? Otherwise, she suspected. No, she didn't need to be suspicious. She definitely wouldn't be able to get out of bed tomorrow. Tang Bao sat on the edge of the bed, biting her fingers with a confused and innocent expression on her face. At this moment, the man's makeup on her face had been washed off, revealing her delicate and soft little face. Needless to say, she was so cute. Di Hao Yin had already washed himself clean as fast as he could. When he pushed the door open and entered the room, there was no one in the room. She's hiding? Di Hao Yin's dark eyes flashed with interest. He was about to turn around and head to the study. However, his footsteps suddenly stopped. His sharp and deep gaze fell on the wardrobe. The wardrobe was relatively large and could definitely accommodate a person. Di Hao Yin walked towards the wardrobe and paced back and forth. Then, he left the wardrobe. Tang Bao, who was hiding inside, felt her heart almost jump out of her chest. Di Hao Yin wouldn't think that she was hiding in the wardrobe, right? She felt that the wardrobe was the safest place. Di Hao Yin would see through the other places at a glance. Di Hao Yin's footsteps gradually faded away. Did that mean that he had gone somewhere else to look for her? Just as she thought so, Di Hao Yin's footsteps came back and stopped in front of the wardrobe. Tang Bao could feel Di Hao Yin standing in front of her at such a close distance. If it weren't for the door separating them, he would have seen her directly. Tang Bao held her breath, afraid that Di Hao Yin would hear her breathing. Bao, so you like to play games with me? As soon as Di Hao Yin's voice fell, the wardrobe door opened in front of her. Tang Bao stared blankly at Di Hao Yin, who was standing in front of the wardrobe like a demon in front of her eyes. However, this was not the most important thing. The most important thing was that Di Hao Yin only had a bath towel on him. Where are your clothes? Tang Bao covered his face with both hands. His face was so red that he could not bear to look at it. She felt like she was facing a cliff and there was no way out. Di Hao Yin approached Tang Bao firmly and forcefully. He removed the small hand from Tang Bao's face and lifted her chin. His dark eyes stared deeply at her crimson face and the way she didn't dare to open her eyes. Since you want to be like this, why wear it? It was an unnecessary move. Open your eyes. If you don't, I'll kiss you. It was as if he would stop kissing her the moment she opened her eyes. Although that was what he thought, Tang Bao still opened his eyes under Di Haotian's threat. He looked at Di Haotian, who was right in front of him, in a panic. You like to play hide and seek? I've caught you. Are you going to be punished? Di Haotian's voice was rough and dangerous. Since when do I like playing hide and seek? Do you think I'm a child? I'm just hiding from you. I don't believe that you can't tell. I can't tell. I only see that you want to play hide and seek with me. Tang Bao glared at him. Di Haotian was definitely doing this on purpose. Who wanted to play hide and seek with him? Did she have to be so lame? However, if Di Haotian said that she was, then she was. Then, the plot should develop according to Di Haotian's plan. How infuriating. But he had to let her out first. Step back. Let me out. No. What do you mean? Just like this. Tang Bao looked at him in disbelief. Are you kidding me? This is a cabinet. Don't worry. I could do whatever I want. Tang Bao was in despair. Was this the result of her own evil deeds? D City. It was late at night. Lan Wanru's room door was still open. He was not asleep, and the smell of medicine wafted out of the room. There was a light knock on the door. Lan Wanru, who was staring at the flowers and plants, turned around and saw Di Junbai walking in. Brother, why aren't you asleep yet? I just came back. I want to ask you. You're not feeling well. Why aren't you asleep? Di Junbai reproached him. I can't sleep. I can't figure it out. Why would Brother Haotian be together with a man? Would he rather have a man than me? I really can't figure it out. Lan Wanru was on the verge of breaking down. Tears were dripping from his eyes. It's because that man looks like Tang Bao. It's not your fault. I saw him. But even if he looks like him, he can't be Tang Bao. Di Junbai's eyes narrowed slightly. He did not say anything. Then does it mean that, as long as a person has plastic surgery to look like Tang Bao, he can get Brother Haotian's love? Why am I not sleeping? The moment I sleep, my mind is filled with the image of that man and Brother Haotian kissing. They kissed in front of me. It's so disgusting. In front of you? Di Junbai lifted his gaze slightly. Yes, they kissed in front of me. Not only did Brother Haotian not reject it, he even enjoyed it. And I felt terrible, as if thousands of arrows were piercing my heart. Lan Wanru could still feel the pain. Because he had not recovered, he clutched his chest with both hands. He felt terrible. How could Brother Haotian do this to me? He's just a man. How could you be threatened? I thought you were very strong, Di Junbai said. Yes, I used to be very strong. But now, I've been hit so many times that I'm starting to doubt myself. How long can I hold on? Lan Wanru questioned. Then you still like him? Di Junbai asked. Of course I like him. From the moment I fell in love with him, I never stopped. If you only know how to cry from now on, then you've already lost. Since you've lost, then don't think about it anymore. Lan Wanru was stunned. He looked at Di Junbai with tears in his eyes. Admit defeat? Why should she admit defeat? She had gotten where she was today. Even the Tang Bao was killed by her. What was a man to her? How could she beat the Tang Bao, but give up to a man who was a mistress? That was impossible. I won't admit defeat. I don't believe that I can't even beat a man. Compared to him, the Tang Bao is much more difficult. In the end, didn't the Tang Bao die and I won? It's great that you can think that way. Di Junbai finished speaking and turned to return to his room. After returning to his room, he loosened his tie with his slender fingers. He opened his laptop on the table and entered the password. A video link was sent over. Di Junbai connected the link and turned to do his own thing. He hung his jacket on the back of the chair. Immediately, a 3-year-old little boy appeared in the video. His hair was neatly combed, and he was wearing a black suit. His handsome little face was cool. Good evening, Daddy. Class is over. Were you obedient in school? Di Junbai asked. Not bad, the little boy said with a little hesitation. Di Junbai knew how much of a discount his so-called not bad was, but he didn't argue with him. The teachers in school were all afraid of him. Naturally, there was no need to evaluate him. Daddy, haven't you found my mommy yet? This was the purpose of the little boy's call. Chapter 8:18. Where on earth did you send my mommy? The little boy asked with a frown as he rested his face on his hands. He had a languid temperament. However, there was a hint of coldness on his face, which made people feel that this child was not to be trifled with. Di Junbai turned around and looked at the neatly dressed little boy in the video. I'll tell you when I find her. Got it. Di Junbai's face was expressionless, and there was darkness in his eyes. While Di Hao Ian was having a video conference in the study, Tang Bao was playing with the two babies in the living room. He was telling Xiao Bao and Bao a fairy tale. The princess has been staying in the castle for many years, and an evil dragon has been watching over her. Princes from various countries wanted to save the poor princess. However, those princes all returned in failure. Tang Bao paused to observe the two babies' expressions. Xiao Bao's eyes widened as he listened. Why are those princes so lousy? Bao asked. Tang Bao was speechless. Was this a problem? Was this the problem? Was he focusing on the wrong thing? It's the evil dragon that's too powerful. That's why I like the evil dragon, Bao said. Tang Bao was speechless. The evil dragon can protect the princess, Bao continued. No one can bully her. Tang Bao was a little dumbfounded. He quickly corrected him. That's not protection. That's loss of freedom. Without freedom, the princess won't be happy. Is that so? Bao seemed to be deep in thought. That's right. Think about it. If the two of you were locked up in a place every day and not allowed to go out, would you feel bad? Tang Bao asked. Xiao Bao nodded. Yes. Bao accepted this for the time being. All right. Tang Bao glanced at him. What do you mean, all right? He said it so reluctantly. Tang Bao thought of something and put away the book in his hand. He said to the two babies seriously, in a few days, we might have to go to another city. This was the place where Daddy grew up. Do you want to go? Isn't this where Daddy grew up? Xiao Bao asked in confusion. Tang Bao had never told them about this. Xiao Bao did not know, and naturally, Bao did not know either. No, in Imperial City. That's where Daddy grew up, Tang Bao said. Is Imperial City very big? Xiao Bao asked. Yeah, it's much bigger than Boiling City. Bao asked. Will we come back here after we go to D City? Are you not coming back? Tang Bao patted his head and said lovingly, You'll be studying in Imperial City in the future. The chances of you coming back are slim. Bao nodded thoughtfully. Then he asked, Then is Daddy from D City too? Father? Tang Bao was a little speechless. Isn't it too easy for you to change your words? Didn't she say that she would only call him that if she married him? He changed his mind so quickly. Why are you calling him Dad? Haven't you always called him Uncle? Tang Bao asked curiously. You'll get married sooner or later anyway. You'll have to call him that sooner or later. Why don't you practice it now? Bao said reasonably. Tang Bao was stunned by Bao's bold thinking. This statement actually made her speechless for a moment. Tang Bao turned around and realized that Di Hao Ian had come out of the study at some point. She did not know if he had heard what they said. How awkward. Well, I want to bring the children to have a meal with Meng, Shi, and Chengju, Tang Bao said as he steadied his uneasy expression. Why? Di Hao Ian's expression was obviously not good. Aren't we going back to Imperial City soon? Tang Bao said. Your studio is over there. Aren't they going over? Di Hao Ian's expression was cold. What he meant was that he knew that Meng, Shi, and Chengju would definitely go to Imperial City. It was as if everything was under his control. This feeling really made Tang Bao unhappy. However, Di Hao Ian had always been so perceptive. There was nothing she could do, right? Tang Bao saw that the two children were blinking and looking at her. She quickly stood up and walked in front of Di Hao Ian. His overly tall figure was really oppressive. Tang Bao lowered her voice and said, That's different. They have always been very good to the two babies and often can play with them. We can't teach the children to be impolite, right? That day, I cooperated with you. Were you still not satisfied? Tang Bao had no choice but to say it out loud. Her face was a little red. You also know that it was that night? How long has it been? Di Hao Ian felt that he was at a disadvantage the moment he said this. Tang Bao's little mouth opened, but she was stunned and could not find the words to say. How long? Wasn't it just 2 days? 48 hours? Did he have to make it sound so serious? Don't even think about going. Di Hao Ian's face was cold as he turned and went to the room. Tang Bao was stunned. How could she do that? Hence, she followed him into the room and closed the door. The atmosphere in the room was not very good because of Di Hao Ian's cold aura. Di Hao Ian, you won't be angry every 2 days, right? It's only been 2 days, not 2 months, Tang Bao said helplessly. Indeed, it's not 2 months. It's 2 years. Isn't that too exaggerated? Tang Bao was dumbfounded. When Di Hao Ian's sharp black eyes looked at her, Tang Bao's head heated up and she said, "How about this? I'll serve you tonight." Di Hao Ian's black eyes stared at her without batting an eyelid. "You don't want to? You can go out for dinner." Di Hao Ian relented, while Tang Bao heaved a sigh of relief. She also felt that this was too improper. They were just going out for a meal, and they had to discuss and make a deal like this. Was Di Hao Ian the only man in the world who would do this? "But you have to take me along." While Tang Bao was still lamenting, she heard Di Hao Ian say something unfinished. "What? You're going?" "Can I?" Di Hao Ian's expression turned cold. "That's not it. If you go, I'm afraid the atmosphere won't be lively." Even if they did not know Di Hao Ian's true identity, the aura he exuded was not something an ordinary person could handle. How could that meal be easy? It was not like she had a grudge against them. However, it seemed impossible to stop Di Hao Ian from going. Tang Bao did not want to touch Di Hao Ian's reverse scale. She felt that every part of his body was a reverse scale. "If you want to go, then go," Tang Bao said weakly. When she turned around and was about to leave, she thought of something and turned back to look at Di Hao Ian sadly. However, she realized that Di Hao Ian's men had already approached her and pinned her against the door. Hey, call me hubby." Tang Bao turned her face away and ignored him. However, in the next second, Di Hao Ian forcefully turned her face over. Tang Bao could not move, so she glared at him. "What's wrong? You call me hubby when you're happy, but not now?" Tang Bao's face turned even redder. "What nonsense are you talking about?" "I'm talking nonsense." Tang Bao bit her lip. What happened at that time made her want to find a hole to hide in after she woke up. Chapter 819. You forced me to do that. Di Hao Ian chuckled. His smile was happy and handsome. This made Tang Bao's face even redder. This was because the way Di Hao Ian forced her was really unimaginable. "Are you going to shout or not? If you don't, I'll continue to use that method to force you." Di Hao Ian threatened. Tang Bao was shocked. It was broad daylight, and the 2 babies were still playing in the living room. The room was not soundproof, so they would definitely be heard. She did not have the guts to do that. However, Di Hao Ian might not be the same. He seemed to like to see her flustered and flustered. How despicable. Tang Bao weighed the pros and cons and braced herself. "Hubby, louder. I can't hear you." Tang Bao gritted her teeth. "Are you deaf?" "Hubby." Tang Bao raised her voice, but her face was even redder. The redness even reached her fair neck. "Are you satisfied?" "Yes." Di Hao Ian's thin lips moved closer and caressed Tang Bao's pitiful little mouth. Tang Bao's face was red and her heart was racing. Her breathing was unsteady and she turned her face away. "Don't. Di Hao Ian, I'll take you out for dinner, but can you promise me one thing?" Di Hao Ian kissed her face. "Yes. Tonight? Cancel?" Tang Bao's face was bitten. She was in so much pain that her watery eyes widened. "Why did you bite me? Don't you mean what you said?" "I feel that I haven't recovered yet," Tang Bao said shyly. "You're so diligent. Aren't you worried that I won't be in good health? There are only cows that die of exhaustion and no fields that are ruined by plowing. Have you heard of that before?" Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian in astonishment. "Shouldn't it be the other way around with you? Di Hao Ian would die of exhaustion. He would only feel happy and refreshed. He would not feel tired at all. Only Tang Bao was about to die from exhaustion." Di Hao Ian's eyes were deep and affectionate. "Don't worry, I won't let you die of exhaustion. I'll only make you happy." After Tang Bao contacted Meng, Shi, and Chengju in advance, they went to have lunch together. The atmosphere was indeed similar to what Tang Bao had imagined. Chengju didn't say much. Meng Shi's face was also stiff. Not to mention the Tang Bao. Even the two babies felt strange. They opened their big, innocent eyes and looked around. As for Di Hao Yin, he had his trademark cold face. Only when he looked at Tang Bao would his gaze change. Chung Ju cleared his throat. Brother Tang, are you going back to D City tomorrow? Do you need Meng Shi and my help over there? We can go there when we're not filming. No need. I can handle it, Tang Bao thought to himself. Imperial City was her territory. It wouldn't be harder than starting from scratch in Boiling City. And Meng Shi, don't ask the director to arrange for your scenes to be shot together. Think about how others feel. What's wrong? With my fame, can I act like a big shot for once? I don't want to stay in a godforsaken place like Boiling City anymore. Meng Shi pursed his lips. Chung Ju said, I don't want to stay. You've been here for so many years. Meng Shi turned to glare at Chung Ju. He realized that Chung Ju was getting bolder and bolder. She even dared to talk back to him. Chung Ju knew that he wouldn't dare to do anything, so she was very calm. Tang Bao felt that it was fine even if the two of them quarreled. Anyway, they wouldn't really quarrel. At least the atmosphere would be better. Didn't I say that we'll film normally? We'll return to D-City early. I haven't made any arrangements, Tang Bao said. Meng Shi glanced at Di Hao Yin's expressionless face and deliberately asked Tang Bao tentatively, Are you going back to D-City with just you and Bao and Xiao Bao? This. Tang Bao was hesitating. Xiao Bao answered, There's also my father. This father was naturally referring to Di Hao Yin. Meng Shi's expression instantly turned ugly. Did this mean that Tang Ge was following Di Hao Yin? He had guessed correctly? We're going back to D-City together. Tang Bao wanted to say that Di Hao Yin was from D-City. But thinking about it, if he said that, it shouldn't be difficult to guess Di Hao Yin's identity, right? Even if he didn't know that he was the head of T, he was still a member of the D family. Because there was only one surname in D-City. In addition, Di Hao Yin's aura was definitely not something an ordinary person would have. Meng Shi was even more unhappy. Why did this man have to be with Tang Ge? Even if the two of them were a couple, there was no need to follow them. However, he could tell that Tang Ge liked this man. Otherwise, why would she return to D-City all of a sudden? Could this man be from D-City? Just as he was thinking of something, he heard Tang Bao say, I have something to tell you. Actually, I'm from D-City. That's my hometown. It's normal for me to go back. Meng Shi was surprised. Then why aren't you in D-City? Why are you in Boiling City? After all, Chung Ju was a meticulous woman. She kicked Meng Shi under the table, indicating to him that it was someone else's privacy and not to ask. However, Meng Shi didn't care about privacy. After being kicked by Chung Ju, he was unhappy. Why did you kick me? Chung Ju. Sorry, I thought it was the foot of the table. Meng Shi. Tang Bao listened to their argument as he picked up food for the two babies. As for Di Hao Yin, he had the same expression from beginning to end. It was as if he was here to eat. At the end, fruits and dessert were served. When Xiao Bao saw the dessert, she stopped eating the food in her bowl and looked at Tang Bao with blinking eyes. Daddy, there's strawberry cake. Eat the food in your bowl first. Tang Bao could dote on her, but he wouldn't let her have her way when it came to eating. He was afraid that she wouldn't be able to keep up with the nutrition. Xiao Bao looked at Di Hao Yin pitifully again. Di Hao Yin looked at Tang Bao and finally decided, I'll listen to Daddy. Xiao Bao had no choice but to eat the food in her bowl first. However, her eyes were still staring at the cake. After eating the food, she realized that her stomach couldn't hold the cake anymore. Tang Bao looked at her pitiful appearance and didn't know who she took after. She didn't eat so much when she was young. He said softly, have a bite. Daddy, I'd better lick it. I'm afraid my stomach will burst, Xiao Bao said pitifully as she held her round belly. The others were amused by Xiao Bao's appearance. Okay, lick it. Tang Bao brought the cake to her little mouth. Xiao Bao really did lick it. Tang Bao looked at her and thought that she had eaten too much. He rubbed her belly gently. Xiao Bao narrowed her eyes like a little kitten. I also want to give birth to a pair of twins like this. They're so cute. Chung Ju looked at them enviously. Meng Shi asked, you want to give birth? You have to have a man first. Chung Ju. Tang Bao looked at Cheng Ju's expression and couldn't help but laugh. Di Hao Yin couldn't help but look at Tang Bao with a charming smile on his face. He looked at him intently, with deep affection in his dark eyes. Chapter 820. At least they did not part on bad terms. After they left the house and were about to get into the car, Meng Shi, who had a lot to say, was about to walk in front of Tang Bao to talk to her. However, someone was faster than him. She hugged Tang Bao and got into the car. After getting into the car, Tang Bao was about to greet Meng Shi and Cheng Ju when the door closed. Tang Bao, Meng Shi, Cheng Ju. After the car drove away, Tang Bao retracted her gaze and looked at Di Haoyan. "Aren't you being too rude? Are you talking about me?" Di Haoyan's eyes were deep and cold. Tang Bao pursed her lips. All right, with Di Haoyan's status, only others would be respectful to him. There was no such thing as courtesy. However, Tang Bao was still very unhappy. "That's my artist. Can you not be so nosy?" Di Haoyan's eyes darkened, and he directly pulled Tang Bao onto his body. Ah! Tang Bao was shocked. When she came back to her senses, she was already in Di Haoyan's arms. His strong chest was so clearly in contact with her. "Let go of me." Tang Bao struggled. "If you move again, we'll bring forward the later date." Tang Bao's struggling movements froze, and he stopped moving. She did not want to bring forward the date. She wanted to cancel it. It was too scary to be remembered by Di Haoyan at any time. It was like a piece of delicious food that was being remembered. There were too many feelings of fear. In your heart, your husband is inferior to an outsider? Di Haoyan asked with a stern look. "You're thinking too much. How can that be the same?" Tang Bao was stunned. "How could that be compared? It's different. So, when I'm unhappy, you have to appease your husband's emotions carefully. No matter what the reason is, once I'm unhappy, you have to do your best to make me happy. If you feel that your husband is too domineering, you have to coax, obey, and do your best to make me happy." Tang Bao was a little dumbfounded. He opened his mouth and said, How do I coax you? I have no experience in this area." "You do." "Really?" Tang Bao's mind was in a knot. Why didn't she know about it? "Just kiss me." Tang Bao was stunned, and his eyes trembled. If that was the case, she was indeed experienced. In the past, Di Haoyan's request was that if he was angry, she would kiss him until he stopped being angry. "As long as you kiss me, all of my unhappiness will be cured immediately," Di Haoyan said in a low and hoarse voice. His hot breath blew on Tang Bao's delicate and flushed face. Tang Bao looked into Di Haoyan's eyes, which were as deep as a black hole. It was as if a strong gravitational force could suck her in. His chiseled face appeared dark and unclear under the light, but it was even more intimidating. At this time, what else could the Tang Bao do? So be it. Therefore, she reached out and climbed onto Di Haoyan's broad shoulders and acted according to his instructions. Before the four lips touched, Tang Bao noticed that Di Haoyan's thin lips were slightly open, as if he was waiting for his prey to enter his mouth. After kissing, Tang Bao would never be able to separate again. Tang Bao's face and ears were red. Her heart was beating like a drum, and her breathing quickened. She finally understood why Di Haoyan was not willing to let the two babies sit in the same car as them. She felt that Di Haoyan wanted to kiss her anytime and anywhere. If the two babies were here, wouldn't he be unable to do anything? If the two babies were not here, he could be even more presumptuous. However, this was not something that Tang Bao could decide. She said to let the two babies be here. Di Haoyan would not give her this power. He was simply a demon. In order to coax Di Haoyan, Tang Bao almost broke her mouth. At night, Tang Bao really wanted to hide. But where could she hide? Even in the castle, she could not hide from Di Haoyan, let alone in this apartment of more than 100 square meters. Since she had to serve Di Haoyan, Tang Bao had the freedom to take a shower alone. She took several deep breaths in front of herself in the mirror. Her face was still red. After washing off the male makeup on her face, her small face looked even softer and more beautiful. Her pair of big black and white eyes were clear and bright, especially attractive. Her small mouth was bright red and moist. Just by looking at it, one could tell how soft it was. It was definitely as soft as the best velvet. Tang Bao bit her lip and looked at herself in a daze. She was going back to D City tomorrow. She knew that she would face a lot of problems. Work was secondary, and the main thing was the people she used to be familiar with. In the past, she was alone. Now, she had the two babies. Would her decision be too risky? However, after she knew what Di Hao Ian had done for her, she knew that her heart had softened. She could no longer control her heart. After Di Hao Ian appeared, her heart no longer completely belonged to her. There was a knock on the door. Di Hao Ian's low and dangerous voice came from the other side of the door. "You're not done yet? Do you want me to break in?" Tang Bao quickly composed herself and opened the door. Looking at the tall figure outside, she said, "Women take longer to bathe." "Can I?" Di Hao Ian hugged her and spun her around. Tang Bao's back was pressed against the door frame, and her heart was racing. Di Hao Ian's arm was propped on top of her head. He looked down at her with his dark eyes. "Haven't you heard that time is precious?" "I think you're precious every day," Tang Bao said, her face burning. Di Hao Ian's dark eyes had a deep smile, and he was extremely happy. Tang Bao did not want to meet his bright eyes. She lowered her head and said, "Go wash up. I'm going back to my room." She lowered her body and ran out from under his arm. Tang Bao ran back to her room. She would not foolishly hide from Di Hao Ian like she did last time. Otherwise, he would think that she was playing hide-and-seek with him again. What kind of joke was this? Tang Bao paced back and forth, trying to think of a way to deal with Di Hao Ian, but she could not think of anything. Then, after racking her brains, her gaze unconsciously fell on the drawer. Tang Bao was overjoyed. She ran over and opened the drawer at the bottom. It was filled with his necessities. After the two treasures blew them up like balloons, Di Hao Ian threw the box away. So all these things were stuffed into the drawer. Tang Bao thought that if she threw all these things away, was it time for Di Hao Ian to stop? Would she say that she did not know? That was a good idea. Tang Bao took the boxes one by one and was about to throw them all into the trash when she heard a familiar demonic voice behind her. "You want me to use 3 boxes?" Tang Bao was shocked. She was about to take the 4th box when she threw it all into the drawer. She turned her head and laughed dryly. "Of course not. I'm just counting how many boxes there are." 3 boxes? She might as well die. Chapter 8:21. Tang Bao stood up in shock. "I already said that I was just counting. Don't overthink it." "Overthink it? Definitely." Tang Bao nodded. "As a husband, it's not my style to not comfort my wife." Di Hao Ian was still trying to change Tang Bao's mind. His face was calm and expressionless, but his heart was thinking, 3 boxes? He was so happy that his whole body started to tense up. No, I'm very satisfied. I'm satisfied every time." Di Hao Ian's deep gaze fell on her nervous little face and asked, "Then do you want to satisfy me today?" Tang Bao was a little frightened by his gaze. She took a step back and gulped. What do you want me to do to satisfy you? Make him unable to get up?" That was a lame joke. Di Hao Ian's slender finger tapped on his sexy and charming thin lips. It was obvious that he wanted her to take the initiative. Tang Bao thought, "Didn't I take the initiative in the car? Again? And he's satisfied with such a simple thing?" Although Tang Bao did not believe it, she still gave it a try. But in reality, she felt that she was very awkward. She did not know if it was because she was shy. Although she took the initiative, Di Hao Ian took the initiative in the blink of an eye. "Is this what I usually teach you?" Tang Bao's cheeks were red and hot. She hesitated for a while and stammered, "I really don't." "Why don't you do it yourself?" "I want to see you take the initiative." Di Hao Ian's voice was hoarse. "Don't tell me you still don't know how to kiss." "Who said I don't know how to kiss?" Tang Bao glared at him. "I don't feel anything when you do this to me." "But I clearly feel that you're panting," Tang Bao said unhappily. "You're blocking my mouth." "Of course I'm panting," Di Hao Ian said calmly, pretending not to feel anything. Tang Bao was very depressed in his heart. Learn how to kiss like Di Hao Ian? That was too embarrassing. She was the one who took the initiative. Tang Bao felt his tongue trembling. What's wrong? Are you backing down? What initiative? You're the one who said it. Tang Bao bit his lip. Forget it. She just took the initiative to kiss him. It wasn't like he hadn't kissed her before. Fine, I'll kiss you. Tang Bao walked straight to Di Haoyan. Di Haoyan took the opportunity to hug her and fall back onto his arm. Before Di Haoyan and Tang Bao returned to the castle, the preparations in the castle were almost done. Tang Bao slept with Di Haoyan in the master bedroom. Then, what was the situation with the other two suites? Zhongli prepared the new bedding in the room. Seeing the maid making the bed, he turned around and asked Lian, "Supervisor, what's going on? Why did they have to prepare 2 extra rooms? Moreover, it was such a luxurious room. Are there any esteemed guests coming?" Lian pondered for a moment. If I'm not wrong, the 2 little masters should be coming back. What? Really? Other than this, who else would need to prepare a room like this? 2 rooms? Zhongli thought about it. That was indeed the case. Ever since she was in the castle, other than Tang Bao who needed to prepare another room, Lan Wanru was the only one. However, the preparation of Lan Wanru's room was very ordinary. It couldn't be compared to the current suite. The layout of the 2 suites was similar, but one of them was obviously decorated in a girl's style. It was pink. It was as dreamy as a princess's room. Zhongli was suddenly happy and instructed the maid, "Be careful. Don't mess up." As she spoke, she went to check on each place. She was afraid that she would miss something. Tang Bao got up from the bed with a sore back. When he walked out of the room, Tang Bao saw the 2 babies dressed in bright clothes and was immediately stunned. Bao was wearing a black suit and had a serious little face. He was so cute. Xiao Bao was wearing a pink princess dress, princess leather shoes, and lace-trimmed socks. Her little white legs dangled beside the sofa. When Xiao Bao saw Tang Bao, she quickly jumped down from the sofa and ran to Tang Bao. Daddy, look at my dress. Daddy bought it for me. Does it look good?" Xiao Bao is the prettiest. Bao is the handsome brother, right? Tang Bao crouched down with his hands on his waist and stroked the hair beside her ear lovingly. "I gave birth to her. Of course, she's the cutest." Hee hee. Xiao Bao smiled happily, showing her little teeth. Tang Bao pulled the bouncing Xiao Bao into the living room and asked Bao, "Is it just the 2 of you here? Is the person you want to ask about Daddy?" Tang Bao thought about how she had just praised him for being cute. "Daddy, you don't have to be embarrassed to ask. If I am, I will tell you. Daddy is making a call in the study." The corners of Tang Bao's eyes twitched. How could he tell that she was embarrassed? She just couldn't ask the question, "Where's your daddy?" The study door opened, and Di Haoyan walked out. "You're awake? Go and eat something. When are we leaving?" "After the 3 of you take your afternoon nap," Di Haoyan said. "Oh." Tang Bao had no objections. When he stood up, he couldn't help but glance at Di Haoyan and then walk to the kitchen. Tang Bao went to see what Di Haoyan had left for her to eat. Di Haoyan came in. His tall figure was very oppressive next to her. "Why did you come in? Why did you look at me just now?" Tang Bao was stunned. "I just glanced at you subconsciously. You're thinking too much, aren't you?" "Subconsciously? Why don't I think so?" "Di Haoyan, you're so boring. Tell you everything?" "I won't tell you." Tang Bao carried her food to the dining room. At that time, she was just curious. Di Haoyan had tortured her the whole night. Logically speaking, he should be the one who put in the most effort. Could it be that he really didn't feel tired at all? That was why she glanced at him, pretending that it was just a casual glance. She didn't expect that Di Haoyan still caught it. "Bao, I'm the only one who can understand your every expression." Di Haoyan put his hand on the table next to Tang Bao, who was sitting, and leaned his upper body slightly. His low and hoarse voice brushed past her delicate ears, which caught her off guard and made her ears turn red. Tang Bao's body stiffened. Couldn't he talk normally? Did he have to talk into her ears? "You can understand? Don't brag. Tell me, what was I thinking when I glanced at you?" Tang Bao didn't believe that Di Haoyan could understand her. "You were wondering why I'm so energetic after such a long time. I'm not tired at all." Tang Bao turned his head in astonishment and looked at Di Hao Yin, only to be met with those deep, evil eyes. How is it? No. Tang Bao's expression was stiff and refused to admit it. Chapter 822. Tang Bao was so scared that she immediately retreated and hurriedly looked at the two little guys in the living room. Fortunately, the little guys were having a lot of fun and didn't notice this. Do you still want me to eat? Tang Bao glared at him with a red face. Di Hao Yin stopped teasing her and let her eat. He straightened up and left the dining room. Tang Bao stared at the tall and sturdy back view. He really knew what she was thinking. This was really an X-ray that was even scarier than a psychologist's. It was too scary. Fortunately, she didn't have any other thoughts. If she did, she wouldn't even know how she died. When they arrived at the castle, it wasn't time for dinner yet. Lian, Zhongli, and the other servants came out to welcome them. Zhongli was about to cry when she saw the pair of delicately carved children. She had never seen such cute and delicate children. They looked very similar to the young master, and the girl also looked like the young madam. Zhongli was feeling touched when she saw Tang Bao, who was also present. Her face froze. Why did this man come back too? Bao and Xiao Bao had never been on a plane in their entire lives, let alone seen such a big house. They were so stunned that they couldn't come back to their senses. There were also so many men and women wearing the same clothes. What were they doing here? Could this be Daddy's hometown since he was young? Young master, the rooms are ready. Lian stepped forward and said respectfully. Di Hao Yin looked down at the two little guys. Do you want to see your rooms? Tang Bao saw that they were a little shy, so he smiled and held each of their hands. Let's go. Daddy will take you to see them. Di Hao Yin followed behind them. Zhongli pulled Lian, who was about to walk forward. Lian frowned. What's going on? Did you hear that just now? Zhongli was shocked. Hear what? The two little masters called that man Daddy. Did I hear wrong? Zhongli asked in disbelief. You didn't hear it wrong. That's what he called me, Lian said. How can you call me that? What does that man have to do with the children? Why do you call me that? Zhongli could not accept it. If young Master Di didn't agree, would I call you that? Lian stopped talking to her and walked forward. Zhongli was left standing there in a daze. She thought that this man was just a man raised by the young master and was insignificant. Why did even the child change his way of addressing her? Could it be that they were really going to become a family? Lian led the way to Bao's room. After Tang Bao entered the room, he felt that the room was very spacious and comfortable. The furnishings inside were beyond Bao's age. This was because Bao would never play with children's toys. He preferred something challenging. There was even a laptop on the table in the living room. Bao's little face was filled with surprise. Looking at such a big room, it felt like it was about the same size as the home they used to live in. Do you like it? Tang Bao asked. Bao asked, Daddy, is this where Xiao Bao and I live? Lian smiled and said, Little master, you live here alone. Miss is in the room next door. Do you want to go and take a look? They went to the room next door. Xiao Bao liked it very much. It was filled with things that little girls liked, and there were many dolls. She had never seen them before. Xiao Bao's face was filled with joy as she asked, Daddy, are these dolls all mine? They're all yours. There's also a cloakroom inside. Just like little master, there are clothes that you like, Lian said. Xiao Bao wanted to take a look, but this was still a foreign place to her. So, she looked up at Tang Bao as if asking for his opinion. Go on. Bao and Xiao Bao went to the cloakroom together. The moment Xiao Bao went in, she saw all kinds of dresses inside. She was so surprised that her mouth could not close. How can I have so many beautiful dresses? Brother, do you have a lot of clothes too? I didn't look. Brother, shall we go and take a look? Xiao Bao grabbed Bao's hand and walked out of the cloakroom. When she saw Tang Bao, she said, Daddy, I want to take a look at brother's clothes. Okay. The two treasures went next door. Tang Bao looked around Xiao Bao's room and saw that there were so many clothes for little girls in the cloakroom. The two rooms were no longer the baby's room for back then. When did Di Hao Yin start preparing these things? She had only said that she was coming back a few days ago. How could he have prepared so quickly in just a few days? Or was this Di Hao Ian's premeditated plan? Was he sure that she would come back? When they returned to Erbao's room, they walked to the cloakroom and saw the two treasures looking at all kinds of small suits and casual wear. Anyway, there were all kinds of clothes. Erbao turned to look at her. Daddy, whose house is this? Are we going to stay here forever? This is your daddy's house. We'll be staying here from now on. Tang Bao squatted down and patted their little heads. Is it okay to stay here? Is it okay? Erbao asked. Tang Bao smiled gently. It's okay. It won't be bad. As he said that, he hugged them in his arms. His heart was aching. All of this belonged to you in the first place. When you were still in Mommy's stomach, you were already in this castle. Daddy, why does Daddy have such a big house and insist on staying at our place? Does he like to live in a small house? Xiao Bao asked in confusion. Erbao said, he wants to marry Daddy. Tang Bao was speechless. At this moment, Di Hao Ian's tall figure walked in. He doesn't want to marry Daddy. Do you have any objections? Erbao felt awkward and did not say anything. This was because he had said that he would marry Daddy only if he had a house and servants to serve Daddy. Now, it seemed like he had everything. So if he did not agree, he would be going back on his word. Di Hao Ian walked over and patted Erbao's little head with his big hand. He asked them, do you want to see Daddy in Daddy's room? Tang Bao felt awkward. What Daddy and Daddy? Why did it sound so weird? Di Hao Ian said it without batting an eyelid. Then, he brought the two treasures to the master bedroom. The two treasures were naturally curious. However, Tang Bao noticed a photo frame on the bedside table. Di Hao Ian was holding a girl in his arms. His gaze was focused on the person in his arms. He held her tightly as they stood on the ice rink. At first, Tang Bao only felt his heart sink a little. Layers of bitterness rippled through him. But after a few seconds, that feeling was gone. She seemed to realize that the girl in the photo was her. It was the photo of them on the ice rink at the amusement park. Di Hao Ian actually kept a photo. She did not know it all. Erbao and Xiao Bao also noticed the photo frame. They could not help but stare at the girl in Di Hao Ian's arms like Tang Bao did. Chapter 823. Sister? You should call her Auntie, Tang Bao said as she came back to her senses. But Daddy said before that the pretty one should be called Sister, Xiao Bao argued. However, Erbao's attention was not on them. From time to time, he would look at Tang Bao's face. Tang Bao also knew that when she was at home, she did not put on any makeup. She would just stare at Tang Bao's face. She would only put on male makeup when there was someone at home or when she went out. Even Xiao Bao could tell, let alone Erbao. You're not telling them? Huh? Di Hao Ian asked in a low voice beside her. Tang Bao could not open her mouth and bit her lip. I'll help you. Tang Bao's heart skipped a beat. She wanted to refuse, but Di Hao Ian had already said, the sister in the photo is your daddy. In other words, Daddy is Mommy. The two babies stared blankly at Tang Bao. Tang Bao did not dare to look into their eyes. And I am your daddy. Do you understand? The two babies looked left and right with their innocent little faces. It was as if they could not recover from this truth. Tang Bao felt that if she told them now, they might not understand and would be making things difficult for them. She tugged at Di Hao Ian and said unhappily, why are you telling them this? Just as she finished speaking, Erbao asked, then did you abandon Mommy and us in the past? Tang Bao looked at him blankly. He accepted the truth so quickly. She thought that Di Hao Ian would give an explanation directly and domineeringly. However, Di Hao Ian only walked forward and squatted down. He looked at the two babies and patiently explained to them, I have some misunderstandings with your mommy. I've been looking for you all this time. It took me 3 years to find you. Your mommy dressed up as a man to make it easier for her to work and earn money to support you. She had no choice. Actually, I've been suspicious for a long time, Erbao suddenly said. What do you mean? Di Hao Ian asked. Because Daddy doesn't have a small body like mine, Erbao said calmly. Yes, Tang Bao. Di Hao Ian's face darkened, and he looked at Tang Bao with a sharp and jealous gaze. The Tang Bao is innocent. What does it have to do with me? I don't know either. She only remembered that Erbao was only 2 years old and did not know how to bathe by himself. How did he start to remember things at the age of 2? Wasn't he 4 years old? Xiao Bao ran into Tang Bao's arms aggrievedly. Mommy, mommy. In the future, when people ask me, I can tell them that I have a mommy. Someone else asked you? Tang Bao asked in surprise. Yes, but I told them that my mommy is working in a place far away, so she won't come back. Xiao Bao's eyes were filled with tears. Tang Bao's heart ached. I'm sorry. I made you suffer. It's okay. I'm so happy now. Mommy is back. I have a mommy. Xiao Bao hugged Tang Bao's neck happily and did not want to let go. Tang Bao looked at Bao and reached out to him. Bao went forward and Tang Bao hugged him. The stone in his heart was lifted. Fortunately, they accepted her. They were not unhappy. They ate dinner in the dining room. The two babies were still in a state of novelty. Xiao Bao kept asking why the table was so big. The dining room was also very big. She even asked why the servants were standing there and not eating with them. If it were not for the delicious food in front of her and blocking her little mouth, she might have continued to ask curiously. Bao was more mature. Even if he was curious, he would only remain silent. After dinner, Tang Bao took them outside for a walk. The castle was very big, so they could familiarize themselves with it. Wow, so beautiful. There are so many flowers. Xiao Bao sniffed and touched them with her little hands. Xiao Bao was lively. Even if her Bao was slightly more mature, both little faces were extremely cute in Tang Bao's eyes. Wow, there's a swing. Xiao Bao was running toward the swing when she noticed that on the other side, she and Bao could not help but look over. Tang Bao thought, what did she see? He walked over and saw that there was actually an amusement park built on the west side of the castle. It was not there when she came back last time. Tang Bao looked at Di Haoyan in a daze. Di Haoyan only looked at her with a deep gaze. Daddy, what's that? Xiao Bao asked. Tang Bao thought that he was calling her, so he turned around and saw that Xiao Bao and Bao were both looking at Di Haoyan. Well, there was no need to correct her. She had no qualms about calling him that. Amusement park. Go and play. Di Haoyan was in a good mood. Then, the two babies went to the amusement park. Tang Bao followed and watched them play on the slide. It was cushioned and not too high, so even if they fell, they would not fall. Only the slide was slightly higher from the ground. However, there was a guardrail, so they would not fall. Tang Bao watched them happily slide down the slide together, and the corners of his mouth could not help but curl up into a smile. Di Haoyan, you already knew that I would come back, so you prepared all of this, right? Tang Bao said, somewhat resigned to her fate. No, I just feel that they should exist regardless of whether you come back or not. Di Haoyan put his arm around her waist. Let's go back to the room. Tang Bao's face was a little hot. No, I have to watch over them. There are bodyguards watching over them. Nothing will happen. After Di Haoyan said that, he took her out of the amusement park without giving her any chance to protest. When they reached the room, Di Haoyan placed Tang Bao by the door. His thin lips pressed against hers, capturing the sweetness. No. Tang Bao could not take it anymore and let out a sound of protest. Don't. Mm. Di Haoyan kissed until both of them were breathing heavily. Then he pulled back slightly and said in a low and hoarse voice, both of you will stay by my side in the future. You're not allowed to go anywhere. Bossy, bossy. Tang Bao finally managed to catch her breath. I'm only bossy towards you. Di Haoyan kissed her moist and soft lips. Tang Bao blushed and lowered her gaze. She did not dare to look at Di Haoyan's dark eyes that seemed to swallow her whole. It doesn't matter if I'm good or not. I just want to be good to the two babies. They're not as important as you. Tang Bao raised her watery eyes and looked at Di Haoyan with dissatisfaction. Di Haoyan's soul was rippled by her watery eyes. How can you say that? Aren't they your children? Without you, where would they come from? You have the highest status in the castle. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. I've already said that I've fallen under your pomegranate skirt. For some reason, Di Haoyan's actions and gaze triggered images that should not have appeared in Tang Bao's mind. This made her face even hotter. I haven't settled the score with you yet. Why did you take that photo? You did it on purpose, didn't you? I wasn't even mentally prepared for it. What about now? Tang Bao did not say anything. Why did she feel that she could not win against Di Hao Ian in an argument? Tear down the paper on the wall. Tang Bao thought of something and said, "Why?" Chapter 824. He could understand the 4 great classical novels. What about the 3 obediences and 4 virtues in the agreement? Do you think they can enter this room in the future? What do you mean? Children can't enter their parents' rooms. Why? In the past, they could enter my room whenever they wanted. Where did this logic come from? This is the first time I've heard of it. Tang Bao frowned. In the past, you lived alone. Now it's the 2 of us. What if they come in and see something they shouldn't see? Won't that be bad? Tang Bao was stunned for a moment. Then, his face turned red and he became angry. Then can't you be more careful? How can I be more careful? Is it something I can't control? Why can't you control it? Can't you? Can't you change the time? Tang Bao asked with a red face. When she said this, she wished she could crawl into a hole and hide in it. Sometimes it's very shocking during the day, too. Besides, have you forgotten? Last time, the 2 little guys messed around and messed up the floor. Tang Bao's face was hot. But you can't stop them from entering the room, right? Besides, you can't be staying in a room during the day, right? You have to go to tea, right? You're back now. Do you feel anything now? Di Hao Ian asked an unrelated question. How do I feel? My heart is beating faster, and my body is heating up. Tang Bao stared blankly at Di Hao Ian's flashing eyes. They were like the eyes of a wild beast. No, why do I feel like there is? That's you, not me. Then I'll make you feel it, Di Hao Ian said, and was about to press his thin lips against hers. Wait a minute. Tang Bao stopped him in time. I'm going to take a look at the 2 treasures. They're the window. Kiss them after you've seen them. Okay? Di Hao Ian raised his eyebrows. Let's see how you can escape from me. His tall and strong body moved away slightly. Tang Bao was finally able to breathe fresh air. He walked toward the window. Then he saw 2 blurry figures in the amusement park in the distance. Beside her stood a bodyguard in black, as well as other servants. Everyone knew that this was Di Hao Ian's child, but they still watched him closely. Therefore, there was no need to worry that they would get hurt. How's it going? Di Hao Ian came up from behind. Tang Bao was convinced by Di Hao Ian. It had not even been 24 hours, and he was acting like this again. Could it be that this person was never satisfied? Tang Bao really wanted to confirm her thoughts, but she was afraid that she would not live to see the sun rise the next day. When Tang Bao saw the children having fun and thought of all that Di Hao Ian had done for her, she felt an impulse in her heart. She turned around and met Di Hao Ian's soul-stirring eyes. Her heart couldn't help but tremble as she whispered, "Di Hao Ian, I love you." As she spoke, she took the initiative to kiss Di Hao Ian's thin lips. Di Hao Ian was in disbelief. Then, with a hint of ecstasy in his dark eyes, he pressed Tang Bao against the window. Tang Bao happily played with Di Hao Ian's black hair. Her neck was as beautiful as a white swan's, and it was so sexy. Later, Tang Bao did not even have the energy to think about the children sleeping at night. She could not even protect her own life. He only let her go to sleep when it was almost dawn. However, just as Di Hao Ian was about to rest with Tang Bao in his arms, he heard the sound of the door opening, followed by the sound of cheerful footsteps. "Daddy, Mommy." Bao and Xiao Bao ran in. When they entered the bedroom, they saw Di Hao Ian looking at them. "Daddy?" Xiao Bao blinked. "The sun is shining. Do you still want to sleep? Mommy is a little tired. Go play outside." Di Hao Ian chased them away. "Then can Daddy play with us?" Xiao Bao asked. Bao asked again, "What did you do to Mommy?" "Let me tell you, don't bully Mommy." Di Hao Ian was speechless. In the end, Di Hao Ian reluctantly looked at Tang Bao, who was sleeping soundly. God knew how much he wanted to hold her. However, the 2 little guys in front of him were annoying him. What if Tang Bao woke up at that time? Would they complain? Thinking about how Tang Bao took the initiative yesterday, his heart was boiling. After thinking about it, he gave up on sleeping and got up to play with them. How? Of course, he would accompany the 2 babies to play at the amusement park. Di Hao Ian stood at the bottom of the slide. The two babies slid down the slide with their arms open, looking like they wanted to be hugged. I'm going to fly, Xiao Bao shouted. Di Hao Ian was speechless. When Di Hao Ian carried them down from the slide, he asked, "Were you scared when you slept last night?" "No." Xiao Bao shook his head. Bao also shook his head. Di Hao Ian looked at them. "When Mommy was pregnant with you, she lived here. This is your real home. Do you know that?" "Then why didn't I know anything about it?" Xiao Bao asked. Bao said, "We were in Mommy's stomach. Our eyes weren't open yet, so we didn't know." "Oh." Xiao Bao nodded, not fully understanding. At this moment, Zhongli ran over. "Young master, old madam is here." Di Hao Ian's eyes darkened slightly. He looked at the two babies and asked, "My mommy, what should you be called?" Xiao Bao was stunned. "Grandma," Bao said. "Is there still Grandpa?" "Grandpa passed away a long time ago." Di Hao Ian held their heads in one hand. "Let's go back." When Yu Songhuan knew that his two precious grandsons were back, he was so excited that he rushed over early in the morning. When he saw the two little guys following Di Hao Ian into the living room, his eyes were filled with tears, especially Bao, who was obviously Di Hao Ian's child. She thought it was an illusion. Wasn't this Di Hao Ian when he was young? "Come here. Let me take a closer look." Yu Songhuan stretched out his hand. Di Hao Ian signaled with his eyes, and the two babies walked forward. Yu Songhuan looked at them excitedly. They were so good-looking. "You've suffered outside all these years," Yu Songhuan said with heartache. "Grandma," Bao called her. Then Xiao Bao asked, "Am I really your grandma?" Yu Songhuan was stunned for a moment. Then he smiled. Tears continued to fall from her eyes. He didn't have the heart to correct him. He was only touched. Back then, she was deceived and almost caused the death of her two children. Now that they could call her by her name, how could she not feel guilty? Di Hao Ian walked over. "Have you had breakfast?" Yu Songhuan suddenly realized that he might scare the children, so he stopped crying and stood up. "Not yet. Let's eat together." Yu Songhuan nodded and looked at his two precious grandsons. "Okay." When they were about to eat at the table, Bao asked, "Mommy hasn't eaten yet. Aren't you going to wake Mommy up?" Chapter 825. Di Hao Ian pretended not to see Yu Songhuan's doubtful gaze and said, "I'll bring it up for her later." Then, Bao started eating without any objections. Yu Songhuan suppressed the doubts in his heart. He spent the entire breakfast on his precious grandson. He brought food for them and wiped the grease off their mouths, but he didn't eat anything himself. After the two babies finished eating and left the dining room, Yu Songhuan asked Di Hao Ian, "Who's the mommy that the children were talking about? Who's sleeping?" "You don't have to ask about this." Di Hao Ian's expression was a little cold. Yu Songhuan was no longer surprised by Di Hao Ian's attitude. "It's not that I want to ask, but I'm afraid that you'll lead the children astray." Di Hao Ian finished the last bite and looked at Yu Songhuan coldly. "The one sleeping is Tang Bao. She's back. I hope that none of you will make things difficult for her in the future." With that, he stood up and left the dining room. Yu Songhuan's expression froze. The one sleeping was Tang Bao. Where did this come from? Wasn't Tang Bao dead? Why did Di Hao Ian say that? Yu Songhuan asked Zhongli behind it, "What's going on? Did the young master find another woman?" "It's not a woman. It's a man," Zhongli said. She was also angry when she heard this, because she heard the two little masters call that man Mommy. What was this called? Misleading? Who taught their children like this? They were really shameless for the sake of glory and wealth. A man? Don't tell me it's that man who looks like Tang Bao. That's him. Yu Songhuan's expression couldn't be described as ugly. He was so angry that he was panting. How? How could there be such a ridiculous thing? How could Hao Ian let his two children call a man by that name? Doesn't he know what this means? Zhongli was also angry. To have the same thoughts as Yu Songhuan was simply inexplicable. However, she couldn't say anything about it. At most, she would roll her eyes when she saw that man, unless she wasn't doing it here. Most importantly, the two young masters really liked that man. He didn't even forget about his hungry mommy when he was eating breakfast. "I can't take it anymore." I'm going to die from anger. Yu Songhuan clutched his chest. Zhongli was shocked. Old madam, are you okay? Should I call a doctor? What's the use of calling a doctor? Yu Songhuan's face was cold. I want to see that man. He's sleeping, Zhongli reminded her. I'll just wait. Yu Songhuan gritted his teeth. She wasn't the one who had to wait so humbly. She really didn't want her 2 children to live in such an environment. 2 men with 2 children. Such a family was definitely abnormal. Even if she had to offend her son, she wouldn't let that man stay in the castle. He even let the children call her mommy. He was simply shameless. When Tang Bao woke up, it was already afternoon. She felt that every time she woke up after Di Hao Yin, she would be in such a post-disaster situation. It was too uncomfortable. When Tang Bao wanted to move, she found herself tied up in a hug. She didn't need to look to know who it was. You're awake. What time is it? Tang Bao's voice was already hoarse. 4 o'clock. What time did I go to bed? 7 o'clock in the morning. How can you have the nerve to say that? You only let me go to bed at 7 o'clock? Tang Bao said weakly. Di Hao Yin chuckled and kissed her beautiful shoulder. I couldn't control myself for a moment. Sorry. Tang Bao sneered. When did you control yourself? If he could control himself, he wouldn't be Di Hao Yin. I'll get you some water. Di Hao Yin got up and poured her some water. After Tang Bao drank it, she felt her throat feel better. She knew that she shouldn't have given Di Hao Yin any benefits. She was almost raped by him. Are you hungry? I'll get you something to eat. No need. I'll go down by myself. With Di Hao Yin's help, Tang Bao struggled to sit up. Can you get out of bed? I want to see the children. Tang Bao rolled her eyes. Of course, it was not suitable for her to walk now. That was because the 2 babies had just arrived at the castle, and she was afraid that they would not be used to it. She, on the other hand, had not left the room since she arrived. Di Hao Yin did not say anything. He directly picked up Tang Bao and carried her up with the blanket. What are you doing? Tang Bao was naked, and her little hands naturally clutched the blanket tightly. Di Hao Yin carried her to the window. In the amusement park in the distance, Tang Bao looked over and saw the 2 little guys playing. They've been playing the whole afternoon? Tang Bao asked in surprise. No, they probably just woke up in the afternoon. Tang Bao couldn't help but laugh. Don't they get tired of playing? I see that Bao likes to ride horses, so I'm going to buy an imported horse for him. There's no need for that, right? Tang Bao asked uncertainly. That horse is not safe. There's a jockey, and it's a pony. He can only ride a big horse when he's older. Tang Bao did not say anything. Anyway, Di Hao Yin had already made the decision, and she couldn't change it. Besides, if her Bao liked it, it was fine. Tang Bao looked over again and saw a figure walking into the amusement park, talking to the 2 babies. That figure looked familiar. Is that your mother? Tang Bao asked. Yes. She's here. Should I go down and meet her? No need. You can meet her anytime. You can't even walk out of your room now. You have the nerve to say that. You can't blame me. You can only blame yourself for being too lively, Tang Bao said unhappily. Look at how much you like it. If I don't do that, I won't be able to do it. Di Hao Yin turned around and carried her back to the bed. He kissed Tang Bao's little mouth. No one dares to blame you. I'll go get some food. Tang Bao sat on the bed, lost in thought. Why was Yu Songhuan here? He must be here to see the 2 babies. From the past until now, she could tell that Yu Songhuan liked her grandsons. But after that incident, she couldn't tolerate it. What should she say? That she didn't like Yu Songhuan? That was impossible. After all, when Yu Songhuan found out that she was pregnant, he also tried to accept her. It could only be said that Yu Songhuan was being used by someone. When Yu Songhuan entered the hall, he saw Di Hao Yin carrying food upstairs. His expression didn't look too good. He asked Zhongli, he's awake? So, the young master personally brought him food? Yes. He actually slept until now. And he even had to be personally served to him? I've never seen such a big scene before. Zhongli felt that there were some things that should be made clear to Yu Songhuan. So he reminded him, Old madam, actually, I find it very strange too. The young master treats this man so well that he's almost as good as the young madam. I'm thinking that he's very important to the young master. You'd better calm down. Otherwise, the young master will be unhappy. Yu Sanghuan looked at Zhang Li in confusion and disbelief. Even better than Tang Bao? Chapter 826. Zhang Li didn't know what to do, because she realized that the two young masters also liked that man very much. Could it be fate? After being reprimanded by Li Yan, she also felt that as long as the young master liked it, no one could do anything about it. Even if it was the old madam, if she interfered, it would be disadvantageous to her. Am I supposed to let my son be bewitched by a man? Yu Sanghuan felt like he was about to faint from anger. This was completely different from the Tang Bao incident back then. Di Haoyan could have any woman by his side, but how could it be a man? She couldn't accept it. But now, how could she persuade Di Haoyan? At the dining table, before she could say anything, Di Haoyan's attitude was already there. If I had known this would happen, I would have accepted the Tang Bao. At least it wouldn't be as embarrassing as it is now. Yu Sanghuan sighed helplessly and turned to leave the hall. After the Tang Bao was fed by Di Haoyan, he definitely wouldn't eat dinner. After eating dinner in Di Haoyan and returning to the room, Tang Bao asked, "Your mother left?" "Yes." "She didn't ask anything else?" Yu Sanghuan came to see the child, so he should know that there was a man in the room, right? In the morning, Bao was worried that you were hungry, so he asked. "She happened to be here too. You said she came in the morning? She stayed for a day?" Di Haoyan, "She's not here to look for me, is she?" Tang Bao asked suspiciously. Di Haoyan looked at her with his dark eyes. "Nervous?" "A little." She didn't have to be nervous about the Tang Bao in men's clothes. But even if she had short hair, as long as she didn't have makeup on her face, he could still tell who she was at a glance. She really didn't dare to face Yu Sanghuan in her original appearance. It was like, why would someone who left come back? But how could she hide it forever? She couldn't always dress as a man in the castle. Di Haoyan held her small hand and held it tightly in his palm. "I'm here, so don't be nervous. Since I asked you to come back, I won't let you suffer anymore." Tang Bao's heart throbbed. He could not help but smile. "I didn't suffer any grievances." Di Haoyan tightened his grip and pulled her into his arms. "Stay by my side, okay?" As if he can make me leave if I don't want to, Tang Bao said unhappily. "I can't. I won't let you go. You're mine for the rest of your life." Di Haoyan tightened his arms as if he wanted to squeeze Tang Bao into his body. Tang Bao looked up. "Why are you so overbearing? Will Bao be like you in the future? Isn't it good to be like me?" Di Haoyan raised his eyebrows. "It's not good," Tang Bao said against his will, but there was a smile in his eyes. "Let me see if it's really not good," Di Haoyan said as he lowered his head and kissed Tang Bao. Tang Bao fell onto the bed. "Am I good?" Di Haoyan asked as he bit her lips. "It's not good." Tang Bao resisted. "Then I'll kiss you until you suffocate." "No." Before Tang Bao could finish resisting, her mouth was kissed deeply. She was so angry that she glared at him. She felt that her mouth would be crippled one day. "Daddy, Mommy." The two babies ran into the bedroom. Then they saw the scene on the bed. The two people who were entangled together on the bed stiffened at the same time and quickly separated. Di Haoyan sat up, his face dark. Tang Bao's face was so red that she wanted to find a hole to hide in. "Daddy, why did you bite Mommy's mouth?" Xiao Bao asked pitifully. "Did you bully Mommy?" Di Haoyan looked at Tang Bao. "What did I say? Should I ban them from entering the room?" Tang Bao explained to them with a red face. No, we were playing a game." "Playing a game?" Xiao Bao's big eyes lit up. "I want to play too." Bao thought for a while and said, "Can I play with Xiao Bao?" "No." Tang Bao was shocked. "Son, what are you thinking?" "No." Di Haoyan's face darkened. Then he stood up, his tall figure exuding a sense of majesty. "This is a game for adults. Children can't play. You'll become stupid after playing. Do you hear me? I don't want to become stupid," Xiao Bao said nervously. "I'm not as smart as Big Brother anymore." Tang Bao glared at Di Haoyan and quickly comforted Xiao Bao. No, Xiao Bao is smart and cute. Mommy gave birth to you, so of course you're the smartest and cutest. Why did it feel like she was praising herself every time she said something like that? Hmm. Whatever, comforting Xiao Bao was more important. He didn't want her to be traumatized at such a young age. Then will I be as smart as Big Brother in the future? Xiao Bao asked. Of course you will, Tang Bao said without hesitation. Xiao Bao's mood improved, and a pure smile appeared on her face. Bao looked at the two adults and felt that they were lying to a child. Did they think that he was a 2-year-old child? So why are you here? Tang Bao asked. I haven't seen Mommy for a day, so I missed Mommy. That's why Big Brother and I are here. Xiao Bao lay on the edge of the bed and pouted. Bao asked seriously, Mommy, are you feeling unwell? No, I'm not feeling unwell. Then why are you in bed the whole time? Bao asked. Well, I was on the plane and felt a little dizzy. I didn't feel better the whole night, so I decided to rest during the day. Tang Bao forced a smile. Are you okay now? Bao asked. I'm okay. I can leave the room tomorrow. Di Haoyan sent the two babies back to their room. When they were at the door, he said, Remember to knock before entering Daddy and Mommy's room. Do you hear me? Why? Xiao Bao didn't understand why they had to knock before entering Daddy and Mommy's room. They weren't other people's Daddy and Mommy. Mommy and I will also knock before entering your room. It's polite, Di Haoyan said seriously. Oh, I see. I'll remember it. Xiao Bao nodded. Bao didn't have any objections and nodded. Tang Bao sat on the bed and looked at Di Haoyan with a displeased expression. She really shouldn't have been seen by the two babies when Di Haoyan pressed her down on the bed and kissed her. I told them to knock before entering the house. Di Haoyan saw the dissatisfaction on Tang Bao's face, and a deep smile flashed across his dark eyes. So what if I knock? They've already seen it. You should be glad that they didn't see anything else. You want them to see something else? Tang Bao's eyes widened in disbelief. Di Haoyan pounced on Tang Bao and pinned her down. He narrowed his dangerous eyes and looked at her. Why do I want to kiss you so much? You just want to kiss me? Can you do anything else? Do you believe that I'll cut off your thing? Tang Bao threatened him. Di Haoyan was unafraid. Then what will you use in the future? I want to ensure your sexual happiness. Oomph. Chapter 8:27. He looked at her deeply with his dark eyes. I don't even want to go to tea anymore. I want to look at you like this every day. I've already come back with you. What else do you want? Tea can't go bankrupt. You still have a son and daughter to support. I'll leave this important task to you. Is there a problem? No problem. Even if they're prodigals, they won't be defeated in 10 lifetimes, Di Haoyan said confidently. Tang Bao widened his eyes in shock and then said unhappily, They're not prodigals. Yes, you gave birth to them. Naturally, they're the best. Tang Bao raised his chin proudly, indicating that he was right. However, Di Haoyan seized the opportunity and bit Tang Bao's little mouth. Tang Bao was caught off guard and was extremely nervous because his mouth was almost swallowed into Di Haoyan's stomach. The next day, Tang Bao went out. He contacted Wang Malay and Yu Lianlian to come out for dinner. At the dining table, You're asking us? Bao Bao, you have such a good backer like the young master, but you don't use it. Why are you asking us? Is it fun to give up what's near and seek what's far away? Wang Malay asked, puzzled. I want to rely on my own ability. Yu Lianlian hit the nail on the head. You're already capable enough to be on the young master's list. I'm just giving you guys a reference. I still have to see the details myself. It seems that Mingxia Film and Television is the boss of the entertainment industry in D-City, right? It should be good to work with them. Tang Bao pondered. You have two popular artistes in your hands. It's easy to talk, Yu Lianlian said, but their opponent, Sanghong Media, is also a powerful player. It's not certain who will be the boss. Sanghong? The company I used to work for seemed to have a good relationship with Sanghong, Tang Bao said. Otherwise, Liang Jichao wouldn't be so famous in Boiling City. He still had some ability. So, you choose Mingxia? Wang Malay asked. No, I choose Sanghong, Tang Bao said. I'm going to faint. You're going wherever there's difficulty? But I think that if Sanghong CEO knew who you are, he would give you all the resources. Yu Lianlian smiled happily. However, if you're looking for me, then you've found the right person. My resources can also be used. Okay, when the studio opens, I will definitely not hesitate to ask for your help. Tang Bao smiled. Okay. Baby, where are you going to open your studio? Wan Malay asked. I'm still considering it. Why don't we just rely on Kuchan? Wouldn't it be more convenient for us to meet? Wan Malay was elated. Have you asked Iju? Tang Bao asked. Wan Malay was stunned. You're definitely a scammer. She did not even get even with Tang Bao for betraying her the last time. If you want to rely on someone, you should rely on T. What's the use of relying on Kuchun? Yu Lianlian smiled ambiguously. I'm not going anywhere. Tang Bao looked slightly uncomfortable. Don't even think about it. Ah, you're still so thin-skinned? Yu Lianlian looked at Tang Bao's blushing face and joked. Tang Bao was about to say something when his phone rang. It was Di Haoyan. Why was he calling? Did he not know that she was busy now? Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay looked at Tang Bao's expression and knew who was calling. I'm going to take a call. Tang Bao stood up. Go ahead. Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay were happy to do so. Tang Bao walked to a corner to answer the call. What's the matter? When are you going back? It's still early. Come to tea. We'll go back together. Why do you want to go back together? Do you need a reason? Di Haoyan's domineering voice came through. Tang Bao's mouth twitched. He did not need a reason? It might be a little late when I go back. You can go back to the castle first. I'll wait for you. I'll wait no matter how late it is. Tang Bao thought that Di Haoyan was determined to go back to the castle with her. Why did he have to do this? Was it more interesting to go back together? But she still agreed. Di Haoyan was so domineering. When she returned to her seat, Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay did not ask anything. They just had smiles on their faces. By the way, Bao Bao, why don't you bring the two children out to play? They haven't played in D City yet, right? There are many fun places, Wan Malay said. Them? They might only be willing to stay in the castle recently, Tang Bao said. She wanted to bring them out to play first. Then she would prepare for work. Who knew that the two little guys were not done playing yet? What's wrong? Di Haoyan built an amusement park in the castle. Today a pony arrived. Do you think they'll come out? Tang Bao said helplessly. They're so happy. Wan Malay was envious. You want to play too? Tang Bao laughed at her. Who wouldn't be envious of such a childhood? Wan Malay said seriously. I don't have it either. Tang Bao said. You don't need it now. Let your children play for you, Yu Lianlian said. After Tang Bao finished eating, Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay returned to the company. She wandered around D City alone. Then she went to the harbor. But she found that the harbor had returned to its previous appearance. The water rippled, and the blue sky was clear. Tang Bao stood on the beach and was a little lost in thought. She only mentioned it to Di Haoyan before, and he took it to heart. Perhaps she should come back. Since she had made a decision, she would live like this. Tang Bao wanted to laugh. In fact, she knew very well that she came back because of Di Haoyan and nothing else. She still could not ignore Di Haoyan. It was not that Di Haoyan wanted to tie her down, but she was willing to return to Di Haoyan's side. Tang Bao sometimes wondered how much she cared about Di Haoyan, that she changed her mind after Di Haoyan appeared. Perhaps, even she herself didn't know how deep that love was. It was so deep that she lost herself. Was Di Haoyan the same as her, unable to control his own emotions? Tang Bao stood in front of the harbor for a long time before leaving. When she passed by a dessert shop, she thought of the little foodie at home and pushed the door open. Tang Bao only stared at the cake in the glass cabinet and did not notice anything else. Buy a cake. Tang Bao was stunned. She turned her head and looked at Gu Linshin, who appeared beside her. Gu Linshin was carrying a cake box in his hand. Obviously, he was there to buy something for someone. Yes, you're here to buy a cake too? Tang Bao straightened up and started chatting with him. You're back in D City? Yes. You're not leaving? Why was this person asking so many questions? Fortunately, you're back. Otherwise, the harbor would have been empty forever, Gu Linshin said with a half-smile. Tang Bao's expression was a little stiff. This person's words made her want to spit at him. He really touched a sore spot. Gu Linshin did not say anything more to her and turned to leave. Wait a minute, Tang Bao called out to him. Gu Linshin turned to look at her. What's the matter? Chapter 828. Are you afraid that I'll tell her about you? Tang Bao was a little afraid that Gu Linxin would tell her. She felt that even if she had to, she should be the one to do it. Only then would she feel better about the guilt in her heart. It has nothing to do with you. Of course, you don't have to tell her, Tang Bao said proudly. It has nothing to do with me? Why do I have to tell her? Tang Bao panicked. Hey, I'll tell her. What are you worried about? Of course I'll tell her that you returned to D City a long time ago, but didn't dare to see her. Tang Bao's expression was not good, but he thought of something and smiled. Gu Linxin, if you tell her, she'll definitely be upset. Do you want to see her upset? When she's in a bad mood, I don't think you'll be able to coax her. Don't run away, my wife. With that, he gave Gu Linxin a sideways glance and turned to leave. The cake in the shop was not very good. It was better to go back and let the castle make it. After Gu Linxin bought the cake, Luo Luoli tore it open and ate it. After a few bites, she realized that Gu Linxin was sitting there silently. He had not looked too good. What's wrong? Who provoked you? It can't be me, right? I didn't do anything. Did you want to buy me a cake? But you said you were going to buy it for me. Then I won't eat it. Luo Luoli pushed the cake forward. Gu Linxin's face twitched. He coaxed. No one provoked me. I bought it especially for you. You won't eat it? If you don't eat it, I'll feed it to you with my mouth. Luo Luoli blushed. She moved the cake closer to her and asked uncertainly, Then why are you like this? You don't look too good. I'm not satisfied. Luo Luoli wished that she could shrink herself into something smaller than the cake so that she could hide behind it. How would she know that Gu Linxin's expression was not good because of this? If she knew, she definitely wouldn't have asked. Wasn't she shooting herself in the foot? Why aren't you asking anymore? I didn't ask anything. I'm going out to eat. Luo Luoli picked up the cake and ran out to the balcony. Her face was red, and it was bright red from the sun's rays. Why did she ask about Gu Linxin's mood? What could possibly happen to him? Was there anything that could stump him? She had really made an unnecessary move. When she thought about what Gu Linxin had done to her, she could still feel the pain from the trauma. She didn't want to break it again. It was very painful. Gu Linxin was only angered by Tang Bao. He really did not dare to mention her to Luo Luoli. Otherwise, what would Luo Luoli think? Would she think that Tang Bao did not want to see her on purpose? He should have asked when the Tang Bao would look for Luo Luoli. But why did Luo Luoli run away so quickly when she heard him say unfulfilled desire? Wasn't it normal for him to be unfulfilled? He hadn't touched her since the last time, causing him to not be able to sleep well at night. Did she despise him? Luo Luoli should fall in love with this kind of thing no matter what. Tang Bao prepared to go to tea. When she passed by a flower shop, the corners of her mouth could not help but curl up into a sly smile. Thus, she got out of the car and entered the flower shop. When she came out, she was holding a bouquet of roses in her hand. They complemented her skin tone and made her look like a beautiful man. People could not help but stare at her. Tang Bao ignored other people's gazes. She wanted to see what Di Hao Ian's gaze was like. It would definitely be very interesting. When she arrived at the high-end front desk of tea, Tang Bao stood there and said, Hello, I'm looking for Di Hao Ian. The staff at the front desk was stunned. No one had ever called the young master by his name. Did he want to die? However, the person in front of her was bright and beautiful. His eyes were elegant and cool, and he looked like a character who had walked out of a painting. Previously, there was a rumor in tea that the young master had fallen in love with a man. Could it be? Do you have an appointment? The staff at the front desk tried her best to ignore the large bouquet of roses in her hand. Her little heart was about to explode as she asked, No, you just need to tell him my name. My name is Tang Ge. Tang from the Tang and Song families, Ge from Huge. The staff at the front desk was even more certain that this was the man in the rumors. Otherwise, with such a beautiful and eye-catching appearance, holding roses that represented love, looking for the young master, and even calling him by his name, it was impossible for people not to think that way. Young madam. Tang Bao turned around. Ah, he Jew. Just nice. I'm looking for Di Hao Ian. Why didn't you call the young master? He Jew asked. Tang Bao smiled proudly and raised the flowers in her hand. Give him a surprise. Are you sure this is a surprise and not a shock? You're a man now. The two of them walked toward the elevator. The staff at the front desk was already dumbfounded. Young madam? A man became the young master's wife? What the F asterisk CK? In the past, when Di Hao Ian lost his memory, she had been to tea, so she knew which floor Di Hao Ian was on and which office. After going up to the floor, she went to Di Hao Ian's office. Di Hao Ian seemed to have just come out of the conference room. Behind him, there was a large group of senior executives. They were all dressed in suits and leather shoes, and they were very eye-catching. And Di Hao Ian, who was at the front, had an aura that made people's hearts beat endlessly. Di Hao Ian, Tang Bao did not care about the others at all. If she did, her plan would have been for nothing. Di Hao Ian was stunned. He looked up and saw Tang Bao walking towards him. His dark eyes immediately softened. Tang Bao walked in front of him and gave him a big bouquet of roses. She asked, "This is for you. Do you like it?" Di Hao Ian took the roses in a daze. His eyes were surprised, but they were blooming with beast-like joy. "I like it." The senior executives behind him wanted to disappear on the spot, but they didn't have that function. But this was too exciting, wasn't it? A man gave the young master roses, and the young master said he liked it. They felt that it was normal for the young master to directly chase this reckless man out, right? As if the stimulation wasn't enough, Tang Bao pouted and kissed Di Hao Ian's thin lips. Then they heard the sound of the senior executives gasping. Di Hao Ian's breathing deepened. Tang Bao quickly retreated. Di Hao Ian was really more indifferent than her. Go to your office? His straightforward manner made people think of Pian Pian. Let's go. Di Hao Ian pulled her hand and went to the office, leaving the senior executives behind. The senior executives were already in a mess. Of course, there were also familiar faces among the senior executives. They were Di Junbai and Zhou Jisen. I didn't expect the young master to be interested in men, Zhou Jisen said with emotion. I can only say that he looks like someone. COD, don't you think so? Di Junbai smiled and looked ahead. Even if they look similar, they can't be the same person. Zhou Jisen looked at Di Junbai. Did this person really not know, or was he pretending? Chapter 829. Moreover, they had been living together for a long time. Tang Bao couldn't help but laugh the moment she entered the office. Di Hao Ian looked at her lovingly when he saw her laughing happily. Di Hao Ian, didn't you see the expressions of the other senior executives? They were scared out of their wits. Let's see if you still want me to come to tea next time. Di Hao Ian went forward and pulled her into his arms. His voice was low and hoarse. I like flowers very much. His right hand was still holding the bouquet, and he didn't put it down. Don't tell me you want me to send you roses next time. Tang Bao couldn't laugh anymore. Just like today. Send me flowers and give me a kiss. Tang Bao miscalculated again. This person really didn't care about his face at all. The people at tea said that you're looking for a man. Are you just going to listen to them? What's wrong with me looking for a man? I like him. Di Hao Ian kissed his man's little mouth. It was soft and fragrant, making him infatuated. You're really hopeless. Tang Bao blushed. I've been hopeless since a long time ago. Di Hao Ian looked at her with his dark eyes. Tang Bao's little heart was thumping wildly, and her watery eyes looked back nervously. Di Hao Ian's face came down, and he wanted to kiss her slightly open little mouth. However, there was a knock on the door. Di Hao Ian's face darkened, and Tang Bao quickly distanced herself from him. After she was allowed, the secretary came in and brought a vase of flowers before she left. Di Hao Ian put the roses in the vase personally. Tang Bao just looked at him. She thought that it was just a rose. Was Di Hao Ian being too cautious? Shouldn't she have sent the roses? She wanted to make Di Hao Ian back off, but now she was the one who wanted to back off. Di Hao Ian turned around and stared at her with his dark eyes, as if he was looking at a prey that couldn't escape. Come here. Tang Bao pursed her lips and walked over. What are you doing? Before she could finish her sentence, her mouth was blocked. Di Hao Ian kissed her deeply. Tang Bao didn't resist, but hooked her arms around Di Hao Ian's neck. Di Hao Ian's heart tightened, and he was extremely excited. Bao, we won't go back tonight. Of course, Tang Bao zest. Di Hao Ian's breathing was a little heavy. Why don't you go back tonight? Tang Bao's breathing quickened. Why did she feel that she couldn't get too close to Di Hao Ian? Otherwise, the two of them would be like an inextinguishable fire that would burn up very quickly. Don't you want to? She just cooperated, and this happened. Tang Bao calmed her breathing. Let's go back. Didn't Bao learn how to ride a horse in the castle today? We're not around. It's not good. What about tonight? Bao? Di Hao Ian hugged her and kissed her face intimately. Tang Bao sighed. Do whatever you want. My wife is the best. Tang Bao's heart twitched. You're the best just because I asked you to do whatever you want? Di Hao Ian, why are you so useless? Tang Bao couldn't help but say this. He didn't look like the inviolable leader of tea at all. It was as if he hadn't touched a woman in 8 lifetimes. Why should I be useless in front of you? I'm long gone. Tang Bao was speechless. He was really shameless. When they reached the castle, they went to the race course. From afar, they could see Bao riding a horse with the rider holding the reins. Xiao Bao was jumping and clapping beside him. She exclaimed in admiration, Big brother is the best. Big brother is the best. Tang Bao couldn't help but laugh and said to Di Hao Ian, in her eyes, Big brother is the best in everything. In my eyes, you're the best in the world. Tang Bao's face heated up. He really dared to say this. Best in the world? That was an exaggeration. Tang Bao noticed that Zhang Li, who was accompanying Xiao Bao, was smiling just a moment ago. However, when he saw her, his smile disappeared. Tang Bao found it amusing and walked up to her. Mommy, Daddy, look. Big brother is the best. Xiao Bao pulled Tang Bao's and Di Hao Ian's hands and insisted on showing them. Of course, they had already seen it. Tang Bao squatted down and touched her red face. Do you want to ride it? That's what boys like. I don't like it. Xiao Bao's little face was full of resistance. Tang Bao was amused by her. She was really his little elf. Bao rode the horse once and got down. It was time to rest. Dinner would be in an hour. When they were about to go back, Tang Bao saw the serious look of rejection on her face. He couldn't help but lean over and talk to her. I said, are you in a bad mood? Of course I'm in a bad mood. Zhang Li's words were stuck. She stared blankly at Tang Bao. Why is your voice? What's wrong with my voice? Tang Bao asked in his usual gentle and sweet voice. Why? Zhang Li was stunned. Tang Bao didn't explain to her. He looked at her meaningfully and left with Di Hao Ian. Zhang Li stood there for a long time and didn't come back to her senses. When it was time for dinner, Tang Bao's voice reverted to a deep male voice. Zhang Li was completely confused by this. She stared at Tang Bao the whole time during dinner. She wanted to see something. However, it was very difficult. After dinner, Di Hao Ian and Tang Bao left the dining room. Zhang Li, who had finished tidying up the kitchen, pulled Lian aside and asked, Don't you think that Tang Ge is very strange? Didn't I tell you that it has nothing to do with you and that you should stay out of it? I've already listened to you. But do you know what happened today? When Tang Ge spoke to me, his voice was exactly the same as young madam's. Don't look at me like that. I'm telling the truth. Zhang Li was anxious, but when we were eating, he spoke. Why couldn't I tell? That's right. I realized that when he lowered his voice, he didn't sound like young madam. But when he didn't lower his voice, he sounded exactly like young madam. Don't you believe me? He said more than one sentence to me. I was stunned at that time. Maybe he deliberately pretended to sound like young madam. Lian's words immediately reminded Zhang Li. Zhang Li was furious. He was so agitated that he almost jumped up and scolded him. How could he do that? Does he really think that he's the mistress of this place? Bah, he's a man. He's not the man of the house. Unless he turns himself into a woman. Tang Bao, who had just finished showering, walked into the dining room and saw Li In and Zhang Li. Ah, you're here. I just finished showering and I'm thirsty. Can you give me a glass of juice? Lian and Zhang Li looked at Tang Bao as if they had been struck by lightning. What's wrong? Tang Bao asked, pretending not to know. Chapter 830. You figured it out? Tang Bao laughed. It wasn't easy, but you finally figured it out. Zhongli, can you help me get a glass of juice? Huh? Oh. Zhongli couldn't come back to her senses at all. She moved to the side in a daze to pour the juice. Don't add sour lemon juice for me, Tang Bao reminded her. Zhongli stood there in a daze. She didn't move and kept staring at Tang Bao. What's wrong now? Tang Bao asked. You didn't deliberately make your face like this to deceive us, did you? Young madam, clearly. Zhongli didn't dare to accept it, and her voice trembled a little. She couldn't control her emotions when she saw a person with the same face standing in front of her. You don't recognize me because I cut my hair short? You really hurt me. When I was wronged in the castle in the past, you helped me in every way. Have you forgotten? Tang Bao deliberately brought up the past and asked. Zhang Li's tears fell down. Young madam, you didn't die? Lian also looked at her with a puzzled expression. Back then, everyone knew that the young madam of the castle would never come back. I was lucky. I didn't die. Zhongli walked to Tang Bao and asked, Can I hug you? I don't really believe. Lian frowned and was about to stop her when Tang Bao opened his arms. Come on. Zhongli hugged Tang Bao without hesitation and cried loudly. Young madam, you didn't die. That's great. I thought I would never see you again. I thought your position was going to be taken by a man. I thought the two little masters were going to call someone else mommy. I'm so sad. Tang Bao smiled, but his heart ached at Zhang Li's crying. He couldn't help but pat her back and comfort her. How can my position be taken so easily? I'm back. She felt guilty for teasing Zhang Li. Zhang Li let go of Tang Bao and cried until her eyes were red. Young madam, it must have been hard on you all these years. If it weren't for the young master's grievances, you wouldn't have had to suffer so much. Tang Bao wanted to laugh. Who exactly are you working for? I wasn't wronged either. Isn't it good to have two little guys with you? It's all because you're amazing, young madam. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't have the ability to do so. But the last time you came back, why didn't you tell me who you were? I thought you were a third party and said bad things about you behind your back. Zhang Li said, a little embarrassed. What did you say about me? I'm talking about you. You're shameless, male vixen. It's fine. You're not the first one to say that. I won't be angry. I even feel a sense of accomplishment. When I was a woman, I was also called a third party. When I was a man, I was also called a third party. This means that I'm very charming. When Zhang Li heard this, she was immediately unhappy. Young madam was also called a third party when she was a woman? Is that person crazy? Why does she have to say that? Tang Bao thought to himself, it's all because of that blue chrysanthemum. All right, Xiaorui also said that, but it's all in the past. There's nothing to talk about. It's fine. Maybe she's just jealous of me. That's why she said that. I think it's jealousy too. It's great now. Young madam is back, little master is back, and the young master is back to normal. This day has finally come. Zhang Li was still very excited. Lian handed the juice over. Young madam, juice. Thank you. Zhang Li scratched her head. She was so excited that she forgot to pour the juice. Then I'll go get some juice for little master. Don't call him little master. Bao Xiao Bao. Together, we'll call him two treasures. I'm going back to my room. Tang Bao was about to leave with the juice when he thought for a moment. Lian, pour another glass for Di Hao Yin. Yes. Tang Bao went upstairs with 2 glasses of juice in his hands. Zhang Li still couldn't believe it as she watched Tang Bao's figure disappear into the distance. She only retracted her gaze when she couldn't see him anymore. Director, I feel like I'm dreaming. Not only is young madam not dead, but she has also returned to the castle. I'm also very surprised. I didn't expect Tang Gu to be young madam. That's right. Young madam is too naughty. She actually teased me like this. I knew it. Other than young madam, how could the young master be good to anyone else? And it's a man? That gaze, that doting look, that's exclusive to young madam. Zhang Li said proudly. Tang Bao drank her juice as she entered the room. When she saw Di Hao Yin coming out of the bathroom, she choked on the juice in her mouth. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. Cough, 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 cough. Di Hao Yin stepped forward and took the glass in her hand. He patted her back gently with his big hand. Can't you drink slowly? Tang Bao only dared to look elsewhere, or only dared to look above Di Hao Yin's waist. After she finally changed out of it, the red-faced Tang Bao glared at him. Is it any use just because I want to drink slowly? Can't you put on your pajamas? Even a towel would be good. God knows how big of an impact she had when she saw her husband's strong figure as soon as she entered the room. It's not like you haven't seen it before. Why are you still so agitated? Di Hao Yin asked wickedly. The corners of Tang Bao's mouth twitched. She turned her face away and drank the juice. She needed to calm down. She didn't know why she was still so shy, as if it was her first time seeing it, even though she had seen it so many times. More importantly, Di Hao Yin didn't even notice it. Not only was he not wearing any clothes, but he was also not wearing any clothes. She really couldn't hide her gaze anymore. Looks like I should show you more. Di Hao Yin stepped forward, took the glass from her hand, and drank the juice. Hey, that glass is yours. I like to drink what you've drunk. You can drink that glass. This person didn't forget to be a pervert, even when drinking water. She really had an eye-opener. Di Hao Yin finished the juice and looked at Tang Bao's clear and angry eyes. Is it nice to look at? Huh? Tang Bao turned away and didn't look at him. She picked up the juice and drank it. Her face was hot. She thought that she didn't need to look in the mirror to know how red her face was. Bao, you've seen it so many times. Why are you still shy? Huh? Di Hao Yin hugged her from behind and kissed her ear affectionately. Tang Bao trembled. She was stunned by Di Hao Yin's behavior. It's not a matter of whether I've seen it or not. What if someone walks in and sees you like this? What will they think? Is it nice to look at? Tang Bao refused to admit the strong emotions in her heart. She felt that a normal person wouldn't be able to stay calm after seeing such a scene. Is it not nice to look at? Do you think my figure is bad? Di Hao Yin frowned slightly. Tang Bao's mouth twitched. Was this a matter of whether his figure was good or not? Chapter 831. Otherwise, she would think that he did it on purpose. That's not the problem at all. Don't you think it's weird if I'm walking around the room with you? Tang Bao retorted. Really? Di Hao Yin's eyes were filled with joy. She shouldn't have asked such a question. Why should I wear it when I'm going to take it off sooner or later? It's a waste of time, Di Hao Yin said matter-of-factly. Tang Bao's face heated up. She turned her face away and refused to look at him. She didn't forget what she said during the day. She was really speechless. Di Hao Yin turned her around and put his arm around her. He lifted her up slightly and sat on the table. Hey! Tang Bao's face was burning when Di Hao Yin looked at her gently. Don't make me sit on this table. Don't talk. Let me kiss you properly. Di Hao Yin's voice was low and rough. His thin lips slowly moved forward and started to kiss her gently and sincerely, as if he was treating a unique treasure in the world. However, it became uncontrollable in the end. Di Hao Yin's breathing was very heavy. Tang Bao felt that something was wrong with her just by listening to it. It was as if it was a very seductive voice. Tang Bao lay on the table like a fish on the chopping block, waiting to be slaughtered. Her misty eyes were half squinting weakly as she looked at the ceiling above. Her eyes were misty and rippling, and she was enduring dizziness. Her slender and fair fingers clasped the edge of the table tightly. Di Hao Yin took her hand and wrapped it in his palm. His fingers were intertwined. Then he took away her other finger from the edge of the table and wrapped it in his thick and rough palm. Tang Bao closed her eyes. Anyway, Tang Bao didn't completely lose consciousness later on. If anyone knew, the table would have been flipped over. There was no doubt about it. Tang Bao definitely couldn't get up the next day. She slept until the afternoon before she woke up. After getting used to the pain in his back and leg cramps, he slowly sat up. The room was quiet. It was really a good environment for sleeping. However, Tang Bao wished he could crush Di Hao Yin with his teeth. This person was truly abominable. After Tang Bao washed up, he took out his phone and found that it was on silent mode. Needless to say, it was definitely Di Hao Yin's doing. It wasn't the first time. Looking at the missed calls, one of them was from Dogo. She replied, "Hello? Doga, you're looking for me? I don't have my phone with me. I just saw it. You're not working in the company anymore? You know, as a friend, you actually didn't say anything?" Doga was somewhat displeased. "Didn't I just return to Imperial City? I haven't settled anything yet, so I'll tell you after I settle down. You're not going back to Boiling City?" Dogo asked. "I'm not going back. I was originally from Imperial City, so it's good to be here," Tang Bao said. She wasn't going to tell Doga. Doga was doing well in Boiling City now. Why would she tell him this? "I know. It's meaningless for you to work in Boiling City. You don't need to follow such a leader." Doga supported it. He was just unhappy that Tang Bao should have told him. "So I'm back. I'm going to open my own studio. You don't have any problems now. Just do it well. When the studio is established, I'll invite you to come and play." "Okay." After hanging up the phone, Doga corrected the camera lens and said to the assistant, "I'm going back to Imperial City. Are you coming with me?" Mika was stunned. "Why are you going to Imperial City?" "I'm going to follow Tanga." Really? I'm willing." Mika had seen Tang Ji's ability, and it was in a top city like Imperial City. She had no reason not to go. Doga didn't say anything. Fan Siming should know that he wouldn't stay here for long, because he originally wanted to open his own studio, and Fan Siming also knew. But now he changed his mind. Even if he opened a studio in Imperial City, he would link it with Tang Bao's studio and help him do it. Tang Bao went downstairs and didn't see the two little guys. Instead, he saw Zhongli staring at him. "Haven't you seen enough?" Tang Bao laughed at him. "I just feel like I'm in a dream," Zhongli said embarrassedly. "Where's Di Haotian?" "Just now, young master called and asked if you were awake. He asked us not to wake you up. Bao is riding a horse, and Xiao Bao is accompanying him," Zhongli said. "Young madam, don't worry about that. Eat first. You haven't eaten for a day. You must be hungry." Why was she hungry? Tang Bao's face was a little hot. He nodded and went to the dining room. Zhongli held back his laughter. Young madam had been with young master for so many years. Why was she still shy? No wonder young master treasured her so much. Wasn't the room soundproof? Young master didn't allow anyone to pass through his master bedroom. He wasn't an ordinary treasure. "Young madam, this is bird's nest porridge with your favorite pastries and side dishes. Try it. Is it the same as before?" Zhongli brought almost all the food that he used to prepare for Tang Bao to the table. "You made so much. How can I finish it?" Tang Bao laughed at him. "If you can't finish it, you can leave it." "Who said so? It's too wasteful." "Young master said so. He would be even more wasteful." However, Tang Bao was also speechless. If she really said something too wasteful to Di Haotian, she could imagine what Di Haotian would say to her. Tang Bao ate a mouthful of bird's nest porridge. Zhongli quickly asked, "Young madam, how is it? Is it still as delicious as before? Or do you want to change the taste? Why didn't you make it for me before?" Zhongli's expression was a little awkward. "That's because I didn't know it was you. I wouldn't make it for a man with impure thoughts." Tang Bao pursed his lips and smiled. After she arrived at the castle, before Zhongli knew who she was, he really didn't make anything delicious for her, unless she requested it or Di Haotian ordered it. After eating, Tang Bao went to look for her two sweethearts. When he went to the racetrack, he saw her Bao on the horse, having a lot of fun. Xiao Bao stood beside him, eating and watching. "Daddy." "No, Mommy." Xiao Bao called out happily. Tang Bao looked at her anxious expression and went forward to wipe her little face. "Look at you, your mouth is full." Zhongli handed her a wet wipe, and Tang Bao took it to wipe her little mouth. "Mommy, have a bite too." Xiao Bao ate by herself and didn't forget to feed Tang Bao. "I'm not eating anymore." Tang Bao smiled. Xiao Bao said coquettishly, "Mommy, have a bite, all right." Tang Bao had no choice but to eat with her little spoon. Xiao Bao was satisfied. Tang Bao looked up into the distance. Bao was riding a horse, but the jockey was not leading the horse. Chapter 832. Tang Bao got up and walked over. "Is it safe for him to ride like this? Aren't you going to lead the horse?" "Don't worry, young madam. Young master has full control of this foal. the jockey said. Bao rode on the horse and said to Tang Bao, "Mommy, I'm fine. I rode like this in the morning." Tang Bao thought to herself, "This horse has only been here for 2 days, right? And he already knows how to ride it?" Seeing that Bao was really fine after riding 2 laps, she walked back to the table and sat down. "Young madam, I think young master will definitely be as amazing as young Master D in the future," Zhongli said. "Why do you say that?" "Because I realize that young master can learn everything in one go, and he's only 3 years old. No one would be unhappy to hear their child being praised for being smart, and Tang Bao was no exception. She hadn't told Zhongli that this little guy had already finished reading the famous books. However, she felt that Bao's personality wouldn't be like Di Haoyan's in the future. It was best not to be like Di Haoyan's personality. Otherwise, he would be like a little demon king, and she definitely wouldn't be able to control him. "My brother is very smart. I want to be as smart as him in the future, because Mommy said that she gave birth to me, so I won't be bad." Xiao Bao's serious look was extremely cute. It made Tang Bao and Zhongli laugh. That's right, Zhongli said. Tang Bao sat lazily in the armchair, squinting slightly as she enjoyed the afternoon. With the 2 babies by her side, she felt infinitely satisfied and comfortable. She felt that she had been spoiled by Di Haoyan until she was lazy. She didn't even want to move. At this moment, a maid hurried over. "Deputy manager, Miss Lan is here again. She wants to come in." Zhang Li's expression immediately became stern. "What's there to report about this kind of thing? Just pretend that she doesn't exist." "Yes." The little maid lowered her head and left in fear. Tang Bao was interested in this topic. "Lan Wanru?" Zhongli knew that Tang Bao had heard it. He couldn't hide it anymore, so he said, "It's Lan Juhua. She's been here a few times. When you weren't around in the past, the young master instructed us not to let Lan Juhua in. She clearly knew that she couldn't enter, but she still came every time. I've never seen such a thick-skinned woman. She probably hasn't given up yet." Tang Bao thought for a moment. "Go and ask her to come in." Tell her to come in?" Zhongli didn't mishear, did he? "She treated you so badly in the past, and you still want her to come in? I'm going to touch up my makeup first. You can ask someone to call for me." Tang Bao stood up and walked into the castle. Zhongli did not know what Tang Bao was trying to do, but since Tang Bao had said so, she could only ask someone to call him. After Lan Wanru went in, he was brought to the horse field. There was only Xiao Bao eating cake there. Bao had already gotten down from his horse. The servant immediately handed him a towel and poured him water. Bao looked at Lan Wanru coldly, without any expression. Xiao Bao had heard the conversation between Tang Bao and Zhang Li just now. She also looked at Lan Wanru expressionlessly. Lan Wanru stood there in a daze. She looked at the 2 children who seemed to be carved from jade, especially the boy, who looked exactly like Di Haoyan. They were even more alike than she had imagined. Even if she was jealous, this was still Di Haoyan's child. Tang Bao was not around anymore. If she wanted to take a step further with Di Haoyan and get closer to the child, that would be the best. He's really good looking. Lan Wanru went forward to touch Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao refused and dodged. Lan Wanru's face stiffened. "Don't touch me." Xiao Bao was angry. Seeing that Xiao Bao was angry, Bao's face became even worse. He looked at Lan Wanru coldly. Lan Wanru felt as if Di Haoyan was looking at him coldly. He could not help but withdraw his hand. Because of anger, his hands were clenched into fists. His nails dug into the flesh of his palms. He could only control himself. Zhongli smiled insincerely. "Miss Lan, you'd better not touch their faces. Children's faces are so tender. It would be bad if they touched something dirty." Was he saying that she was dirty? Lan Wanru was so angry that he was about to tremble, but he could only hold it in. "What are you doing?" Tang Bao, who had finished putting on his makeup, walked over and asked with a curious look in his eyes. He deliberately lowered his voice. He no longer looked like Tang Bao. Lan Wanru turned around and looked at Tang Bao with hatred in his eyes. Tang Bao acted as if he did not see Lan Wanru's expression. He sat down on a seat and wiped Xiao Bao's mouth. "Why are you eating like this again?" Xiao Bao pouted obediently and let Tang Bao wipe her mouth. She looked as if she wanted a kiss. Tang Bao smiled and tapped her little mouth. Okay, Bao, take your sister somewhere else to play. Don't keep writing. Okay. Bao took Xiao Bao's hand and walked away. Tang Bao looked at the two small figures with a gentle gaze as they walked away. There was a servant following behind them. He did not have to worry about them playing. Di Hao Ian was still having a meeting in the highest conference room. Below the stage were the T's top leaders, all dressed in suits and leather shoes. Just as this solemn and oppressive atmosphere was going on, the door to the conference room opened. Hiju walked in and whispered something in Di Hao Ian's ear. Di Hao Ian's expression changed immediately. He almost roared, "Damn it! Who let her in?" After saying that, he stood up. His roar scared the top leaders in the conference room into silence. They looked at each other. What was going on? Was there a problem with the tea? But why did it not sound like it? Di Hao Ian walked out of the conference room furiously. Hiju followed behind him and said, "Young madam, let her in." Di Hao Ian froze. He had wanted to call the castle to let his bodyguards receive their punishment. But now, he did not even dare to make the call. Di Hao Ian put away his phone and left the tea. He left the top leaders in the conference room, who did not know what to do. However, Zhou Jisen was very calm. Of course, Di Junbai also knew what was going on. Zhou Jisen walked out and patted the shoulder of the secretary who was standing there in a daze. "Go to the conference room and inform them that the meeting is over." "What happened?" The secretary pushed up her glasses and asked worriedly. "It's nothing. Don't worry." Zhou Jisen thought, other than the person in the castle, who else could make the young master so anxious? Tang Bao and Lan Wanru sat at the table. Zhongli stood behind Tang Bao. She would not leave anyway. Who knew if Lan Wanru would bully the young madam? Tang Bao was calm. Lan Wanru wanted to be calm too. But when she saw Tang Bao acting like she was the mistress of the house, she was mad with jealousy and hatred. She had never seen a man so arrogant before. What was more hateful was that the two children were so obedient to this man. They even seemed very close. Chapter 833. She must have known that if she wanted to deal with Di Hao Ian, she had to deal with the two children first. "When you came, did you see that large field of roses?" Tang Bao asked first. Lan Wanru looked at him, not knowing why he asked this. "I've never seen so many roses. Moreover, every one of them is tender and beautiful. Not a single one has withered." Di Hao Ian really put in a lot of effort, Tang Bao said casually. "What are you trying to say?" Lan Wanru sneered. "No matter how beautiful the roses are, they have nothing to do with you. I know more than you do." "Oh, what do you know? Why don't you tell me?" Tang Bao asked curiously. "My brother Hao Ian planted those roses especially for his wife. How can a man like you understand that kind of feeling? Brother Hao Ian will never forget his wife. As for you, even if you can stay in the castle now, it's only temporary. You'll be abandoned sooner or later. Don't ever think of replacing his wife." Although Lan Wanru's face was almost distorted when he said this, why was Tang Bao not angry when he heard it? "Then what about you? What? Since your brother Hao Ian can't forget his wife, why are you still pestering him? Or do you think you can replace his wife?" "Of course I can. You can't even fight a man. Can you? Where does your confidence come from?" Tang Bao laughed. "I'm the one living in the castle now. And you, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be able to enter the castle. Is this your confidence?" Lan Wanru was so angry that her face turned pale and her whole body trembled. Even if Tang Bao was telling the truth, she would not show any weakness. "You're just brother Hao Ian's plaything at most. After he's done playing with you, you'll still go back to where you came from. Do you really think you're something? I've never seen a man marry another man. What can you do for brother Hao Ian? Can you have children? If you want to have children, you can only reincarnate. As long as a man has true love, he can still get married." Tang Bao turned around and asked Zhongli, "Have you seen it before?" "Of course I have. Many people abroad have gotten their marriage certificates." Zhongli cooperated. Tang Bao smiled and looked at Lan Wanru, who was about to faint from anger, and said, "Why should I have a child? Didn't Di Hao Ian already have 2 children? I don't need to think about the successor. That's Brother Hao Ian's child, not yours. Brother Hao Ian's business was so huge that the more children he had, the better. Do you think having 2 children is enough for Brother Hao Ian? You mean you will bear his children? It's not that I'm looking down on you, but with your lousy body, can you bear a child? You. Lan Wanru's poor health had been her lifelong worry. If it weren't for her lousy body, she wouldn't have lost to Tang Bao, to the man in front of her. If that's the case, you're no different from a man. Am I right? Lan Wanru was so angry that she was at a loss for words with Tang Bao, so she could only threaten him. Don't be too smug. However, Tang Bao was unafraid. I'm just that smug. So what? Right now, I'm in charge of the entire castle. If you know your place, then go back to your own home. If you don't know your place, then think about it before you fight with me. Understand? Lan Wanru stood up, grabbed Xiao Bao's unfinished cake, and was about to throw it at Tang Bao. Zhang Li quickly stood in front of Tang Bao. However, there was an even scarier voice. Don't you dare to throw it. Lan Wanru's whole body stiffened. She looked at Di Hao Qian, and the cake in her hand fell to the ground. Di Hao Qian looked at Lan Wanru with malicious eyes. Didn't I say that you're not allowed to enter the castle again? Don't you understand? It was this man who let me in. Lan Wanru suppressed her arrogance and said weakly. You came in just because he let you in? Did he ask for my permission? Di Hao Qian's face was terrifyingly cold. Lan Wanru panted in fear, not daring to refute. Di Hao Qian's commanding voice made her heart tremble. Disappear from my sight immediately. Lan Wanru's face turned pale. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she still fell down in the end. She wouldn't cry no matter what that man said. However, facing such a cold and heartless Di Hao Qian, she was so sad that she couldn't control herself. Di Hao Qian, what are you being so fierce for? She's here to see you. Can't you give her a good look? Tang Bao asked. Di Hao Qian immediately coaxed her. Baby, my heart is about to stop because of you. Don't make a fuss, okay? I'm making a fuss? When did I make a fuss? Tang Bao immediately questioned. No, it's my fault. Don't be angry. Di Hao Qian still wanted to hug her and coax her. Lan Wanru looked at this scene, and her body was already on the verge of collapsing. Di Hao Qian was actually hugging her and calling her baby? He wasn't even willing to look at her for a man. What was going on with him? Didn't he love Tang Bao a lot in the past? Why was he treating a man now? She simply couldn't believe her eyes. The last time they kissed, it was this man who took the initiative. Now, this man was obviously throwing a tantrum, but Di Hao Qian acted as if he couldn't see it. He continued to pamper and coax her. Brother Hao Qian, are you possessed? Lan Wanru asked angrily. What did you say? Di Hao Qian's gaze turned fierce. Isn't it? He's a man, not a Tang Bao. How can you treat a man like this? Lan Wanru couldn't accept it. He definitely couldn't do this. Di Hao Qian's gaze fell on Tang Bao's face, and it became gentle and doting again. His dark eyes were so deep and domineering that it seemed as if he wanted to swallow her into his stomach. No matter if she's a man or a woman, I like her. Tang Bao imitated him and raised his eyebrows. He really knew how to coax her. Wasn't he afraid that Lan Wanru would faint from anger? But you said before that you only love the Tang Bao. How can you forget about the Tang Bao? Wasn't this shifting of affections a little too fast? So what? Di Hao Qian was indifferent. Since even this man can do it, why can't it be me? Why can't you give me a chance? Brother Hao Qian, Lan Wanru still wanted to say something. Di Hao Qian had already straightened up, and his expression was very obvious. He walked forward and said, Miss Lan, please go back. Lan Wanru went to look at Di Hao Qian, hoping that he would let her stay and not be so cruel to her. However, Di Hao Qian's gaze only fell on Tang Bao, and he didn't look at her at all. Lan Wanru was unwilling to give up. I'm not leaving. I want to stay here. Brother Hao Qian, this man just looks like Tang Bao. He's not the Tang Bao. Why do you want him to stay here? If I don't have the right to stay here, then she doesn't have the right either. Chapter 834. Di Hao Ian's voice was low and hoarse, and his breath was hot. Tang Bao blushed and was stunned. You're bragging, right? Why don't we try it? I'm not that bored. Tang Bao pouted. Di Hao Ian kissed her on the lips. Tang Bao lay in his arms, her eyes sparkling and her face red. She closed her eyes. Can you put on your clothes? This person was not going to start again, was he? From Tang Bao's position, she could see the 3 obediences for virtues and the agreement pasted on the bedside wall. It made her scalp tingle. It's good for the body to sleep without clothes. You don't have to put them on, Di Hao Ian said seriously. Tang Bao was so scared that she immediately grabbed the collar of her pajamas and looked at Di Hao Ian defensively. Do you want to hug me? Although I want to, I think it's better not to. I'm afraid you can't take it. You know that too? If you come here every day, I don't have to go to work. Tang Bao glared at him with a red face. It's not like I can't afford to raise you. It's different. In other people's eyes, I'm already a man. If I don't go to work, there will be more rumors. A man? Let me see if it's true. Hey, Di Hao Ian, don't mess around. Tang Bao struggled in panic. However, how could she resist Di Hao Ian's strength? He still checked her real body. However, Bao, don't be so cold. Why don't you let me quench my thirst? Di Hao Ian, MMM. Tang Bao was kissed domineeringly and lost her sovereignty. Tang Bao woke up in the morning, but it was not too late. She was completely grateful that Di Hao Ian did as he said last night, quenching his thirst. However, that thirst lasted for 3 hours. Tang Bao gritted her teeth and wanted to curse. When Di Hao Ian came in with breakfast, he was still in his pajamas. Tang Bao glanced at him unhappily. Angry? No. Tang Bao said that he did not, but it was obvious that he was angry. I only did it once last night. This is very different from what we agreed on. Di Hao Ian pointed at the agreement on the wall. Yeah, 3 hours at a time, Tang Bao said with a hot face. I was afraid that you wouldn't be happy, so I dragged it out a little longer. When Di Hao Ian saw Tang Bao staring at him with his eyes wide open and the adorable look on his face, he could not help but change his words. I'm the one who can't bear to end it so quickly. There was no sign of repentance at all. When Tang Bao heard this, he felt a little better. However, he also felt that Di Hao Ian had gone too far. She almost died in those 3 hours. One could only imagine how terrifying Di Hao Ian was at the end of his 3 hours of self-restraint. Her scalp was still numb. Di Hao Ian sat on the edge of the bed to feed her. Tang Bao did not refuse. Even if Di Hao Ian wanted to feed her, it was useless. It was as if it was his job. I found the location of the studio for you, Di Hao Ian said. Huh, didn't I say that I'll do my own things? I'm only involved in this matter. I won't interfere with anything else. Di Hao Ian really wanted to interfere, but if Tang Bao knew, she would definitely be upset. Tang Bao had a bad feeling. Where did you find it? I'll take you there in the morning. Tang Bao followed Di Hao Ian to see the location of the studio. It was on the west side of the first floor of T. There were 2 floors. The lower floor was for the studio, and the upper floor was for her office. The staircase had a 3-dimensional feel to it. It was a very artistic design. Tang Bao walked around and liked it very much. But I don't like it. Tang Bao turned around and looked at Di Hao Ian. What don't you like? I can get someone to change it. Di Hao Ian completely doted on her and indulged her. It's the location. I don't like it. I'll free up any place you like in T for your studio. My office is fine too. You know what I don't like? If my studio is here, then wouldn't I be staying at home and working together at the same place? I don't want that. Tang Bao felt a headache coming on. Di Hao Ian stepped forward and closed in on her. Tang Bao retreated, but landed on the table behind her. She could not escape. Di Hao Ian stood very close to her. Their faces were almost touching. We've been separated for 3 years. Don't you want to make it up to me? You think that we're too close. I'd rather you be by my side 24 hours a day, right under my nose. Even so, I'm not satisfied. I feel that we're not close enough. Do you understand what I mean? Tang Bao blushed at his low and hoarse words and hot breath. Her heart was beating like a drum. I'm back now. I'm not leaving. Bao, it's not enough. Di Haotian kissed Tang Bao's mouth, which was caught off guard. His kiss went from light to deep, as if he wanted to swallow her right there, and then, mm. Tang Bao had nowhere to run. She held Di Haotian's collar tightly with both hands. Otherwise, she would fall into the abyss if she let go. Di, Tang Bao did not know why, but she felt that Di Haotian's kiss contained too many emotions. It was as if he was constantly in a state of tension, a restlessness that worried about his gains and losses. It was as if she would leave him. However, she had already returned to D City. Why did he still have such emotions? Could it be that the 3 years of separation had made him panic again? Tang Bao thought of the time when they were in Boiling City. Di Haotian was unwilling to return to D City even for a moment. Even when they agreed to return to D City once every 3 days, he was still unwilling. Even if he went back, he would come back very quickly. It was as if he had never left at all. Tang Bao cried out in pain. Di Haotian, why did you bite me? Di Haotian was displeased. You're distracted. He could even tell that. What are you thinking about? Tang Bao met Di Haotian's dark eyes, and her gaze flickered. I'm thinking, have you found a school for the 2 babies yet? This is more important than my studio. Do you know the consequences of not telling the truth? Di Haotian's dark eyes became dangerous. What consequences? Tang Bao asked cautiously. Here, Di Haotian smiled. Can't you think of something else? Tang Bao glared at him with a red face. I can't think of anything. Tang Bao knew that lying would not work in front of Di Haotian. In the end, she braced herself and said, Di Haotian, I won't leave your side. She did not hear Di Haotian's response. She raised her head, and the pair of dark eyes that were staring at her flashed with a deep luster, as if there were ripples in them. After a long time, he spoke in a low voice and pressed against her lips. Say it again. I won't leave your side. I forgot your name. Chapter 835. She added his name helplessly. Di Haotian, I won't leave your side. Okay. Di Haotian hugged her tightly and kissed her again. Tang Bao knew that she had surrendered. She couldn't reject Di Haotian like this. She didn't want to reject him either. Just like the studio here. Didn't she go from rejecting it to accepting it now? She suspected that one day, no matter what Di Haotian asked, she would accept it. After the 2 of them came out of the studio, they saw Di Junbai coming out of tea. Di Haotian was expressionless and pretended not to see her. However, Tang Bao didn't say anything either. The only thing she said was that Di Haotian tightened his grip on her hand. Tang Bao felt a little pain in her bones, but she didn't struggle. After Di Junbai left, Tang Bao looked at Di Haotian, who had a gloomy expression on his face, and asked, Can you let go of my hand? My bones are going to break. Di Haotian came back to his senses and loosened his grip on her hand. However, he still had a dangerous look in his eyes. You don't want me to hold your hand like this? Aren't you holding my hand? I just want you to be less forceful. Don't you know that you are very strong? Tang Bao didn't look unhappy. She was just stating the truth. Di Haotian felt a little better when he saw that she didn't look unhappy. Di Haotian, you let my studio be here. Aren't you afraid that Di Junbai will come looking for me? Even if he doesn't, he will still run into you like today. Tang Bao reminded him. He doesn't have the guts to do that under my watch. The studio is elsewhere. That's why he will look for you. Di Haotian's depth was indeed unmatched by others. Tang Bao didn't know what to say. Let him be. Otherwise, who knew if he would get angry again? You want him to come to you? Tang Bao looked up at Di Haotian in a daze. Do you think it's possible? What do I want him to do with me? He's your younger brother and has nothing to do with me. If he needs anything, he can look for you. Yes. Although Di Haotian only said one word, Tang Bao could tell that he was in a good mood. Was it because he was satisfied with her answer? This man was really hard to coax. However, there was something strange about the Tang Bao. Logically speaking, Di Junbai should have known about her cross-dressing a long time ago. Why didn't Lan Wanren know about it? Didn't he tell her? Why? Tang Bao originally wanted to find his own studio and then decorate it. But Di Hao Ian had done it all for her. She only needed to recruit people. She already had a big star, but she also hoped to have a photography team because packaging was very important. If the packaging was not attractive enough, it would indeed be more troublesome. A star had to have an eye-catching highlight at first glance. In the afternoon, Tang Bao sat in the studio and went online to register for a recruitment notice. It was not a photography team, but a public relations team and other staff. These things were not urgent. Anyway, they still had to wait for Meng Shi and Cheng Ju to come over before they could really start work. After finishing online, Tang Bao thought for a while and ran to Kuchun. However, just as she left the studio, her phone rang. Tang Bao took a look. Di Hao Ian? She turned around and looked around, but did not see Di Hao Ian. She picked up. Hello. Where are you? Did you see that I was going out? So you called? I saw it. Where did you see it? There's a surveillance camera at the entrance of your studio. Of course, Tang Bao knew that there was a surveillance camera. It was normal for her to put it on. Just like T, there were surveillance cameras everywhere. Not to mention T, other shops would have them. But wasn't it strange that Di Hao Ian saw her movements immediately? Don't tell me you've been paying attention to my every move. And why can you see the surveillance camera at the entrance of my studio? It's connected to T. Of course, I know, Di Hao Ian said calmly. Tang Bao gritted her teeth. She knew that setting up a studio in T was definitely not a good thing. But now that it had been set up, could she move away? Even if she wanted to move away, Di Hao Ian had already vetoed it before she could say anything. I'll go to Kuchun. How long? I'll go back to the castle directly, okay? You stay there. I'll pick you up on the way. On the way? How did you manage to get to Kuchun? Forget it. She would not argue with him about this. Anyway, Di Hao Ian would definitely go there. Got it. Are you unhappy? I'm very happy. Di Hao Ian, after Tang Bao hung up the phone, she felt that Di Hao Ian was extraordinarily difficult to deal with. When she arrived at Kuchun and passed by the security room, I know who you are. Tang Bao was stunned. It can't be. She was not a celebrity. Your vice president Yu's friend. Tang Bao smiled. Yes, I'm looking for her for something. Vice President Yu said that you can go up directly if you're here. Thank you. Tang Bao entered the company. It had been 3 years since she came back. Nothing had changed. Even the office was the same. Tang Bao went straight to Yu Lianlian's office. This time, she knocked on the door. She did not want to scare herself. The good deed that Zhou Jisen and Yu Lianlian had done was still fresh in her memory. Come in. Yu Lianlian's voice came from inside. Tang Bao pushed the door open and went in. Inside, Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay were chatting and eating oranges. When they saw the handsome man walk in, they were stunned. Yu Lianlian said to Wan Malay, "Oh no, the leader is here for an inspection. He saw us eating oranges and chatting. What should we do? Why don't we share some with her?" Tang Bao pretended not to hear. She walked over and sat on the sofa. You guys are the most comfortable. Have an orange. It's very sweet. Yu Lianlian handed it to her. Tang Bao took it happily. Let me tell you, ever since I had the 2 babies, I don't eat much snacks. Even the fruits I eat are limited. Why? Will the 2 babies think that you're stealing their food? Wan Malay was puzzled. No, I don't want them to think that I'm greedy. Moreover, I always hide when I eat cold drinks. Yu Lianlian almost choked on her laughter. Do you have to maintain such a lofty image? Only young Master D has such a lofty image. She has nothing to do. That's why she has such thoughts. Wan Malay mocked without sympathy. What do you mean by having nothing to do? I've been running around all day, okay? Unlike you guys, peeling oranges and eating them here. Tang Bao looked like a doer. Running around all day? What did you do? Wan Malay asked. Looking for the film company? No, the studio. Did you find it? Yes. Where's the studio set up? Yu Lianlian asked. Chapter 836. Yu Lianlian and Wan Malay looked at each other. Wan Malay asked suspiciously, "Are you sure you've been running around all day? Didn't the young master do it for you?" Yu Lianlian asked. "No, I did it myself. I did it myself." Tang Bao said without blushing or skipping a beat. Wang Malay and Yu Lianlian didn't want to ask anymore. Did he think they were 2-year-old children? It was Tang Bao who found it downstairs. With Tang Bao's personality, where would he find it? The young master must have done it long ago and told Tang Bao. Plus, they knew the young master's domineering style, so it was definitely like this. Why aren't you talking? Tang Bao finished an orange and looked up. Unless you admit that the studio was set up by the young master, Wang Malay said. Why are you still asking if you know? Tang Bao's face twitched. Wang Malay laughed. Do you think you can still run away from the young master after you return to the capital? When did I say I was going to run away? Tang Bao asked, puzzled. Wang Milai was overjoyed. That would be great. With the young master and the 2 babies, what are you if not a winner in life? I'll be embarrassed if you say that. Tang Bao expressed that he was thin-skinned. Yu Yinlian asked, are you going to dress as a man outside? Isn't it good? It's quite good. At least I don't have to worry about romance. Yu Lianlian nodded in agreement. Tang Bao thought, romance? She was a man, but she was still harassed in that way. The past was unbearable. The 3 of them chatted happily in the office. Tang Bao's phone rang. He didn't need to look to know who it was. Well, I'll go back first. Tang Bao stood up and left. Wang Malay asked Yu Lianlian, Vice President Yu, who do you think is calling? Young master. The 2 of them high-fived. Correct. After Tang Bao walked out of the office, he looked at the caller ID. It was Di Haoyan. Hello. She answered. I'm downstairs. I'm coming down. Downstairs, Di Haoyan's car was very eye-catching. Its aura was so strong that no one dared to approach it. After getting into the car, Di Haoyan pulled Tang Bao over, and Tang Bao fell into his arms. You, ugh. Before Tang Bao could say anything, a black shadow covered her face, and then her little mouth was sealed. After being kissed enough, Tang Bao was kissed until he was out of breath. Only then was he released. Tang Bao gasped for breath. Yu, I missed you so much. Di Haoyan's voice was low and hoarse as he hugged her tightly. She had only been in Kucheon for a few hours. Was it as exaggerated as he said? In the evening, bungalow. Lan Wanru looked gloomy and left dejectedly. Yu Songhuan sat on the sofa and looked at her pale face. What's wrong? Aunt, I went to the castle yesterday. Didn't you say you couldn't get in? Yu Songhuan knew about this. She couldn't do anything about it. That was Di Haoyan's order. Who could change it? She couldn't either. I went yesterday. That man let me in. I thought he was kind enough to let me in. Who knew that after he let me in, he humiliated me in all kinds of ways. Aunt, you didn't see how arrogant he was. If Brother Haoyan had found a woman, I wouldn't have said anything as long as he liked her. But now he actually found a man. How could I bear to watch this? Am I not even comparable to a man? At the mention of this, Yu Songhuan's face didn't look too good. No one would be willing to accept their son finding a man to live with. She didn't see that man that day. He must have deliberately avoided her. At least he knew shame. And, Aunt, yesterday I heard Brother Haoyan's children call that man Mommy. I was shocked. What does it mean to call a man like that? Will Brother Haoyan marry him? Lan Wanru asked. What? It's absolutely true. If you don't believe me, you can go to the castle again. And I realized that the man coaxes the children very well. They listened to him. Yu Songhuan's face was pale with anger. This is outrageous. I also found out something today. What is it? That man seems to want to open a studio here. And it's right next to T. It's right next to T. This is already a rumor in T. Brother Haoyan actually did this. I think it must be that vixen who coaxed Brother Haoyan. If it's not him, why would Haoyan do such a thing? Leaving such a man to cause trouble, it's better to let the Tang Bao stay by Haoyan's side. Yu Songhuan was flustered and exasperated. Lan Wanru's expression changed. Jealousy filled his heart. Tang Bao, wasn't it her? Wasn't it better for her to stay by Di Haoyan's side? What did Yu Songhuan mean by this? Was he regretting it? Was he blaming her for snatching Di Haoyan from Tang Bao? Seeing that Yu Songhuan was angry, Aunt Wang comforted him. I think young Master Di just wanted something new. After this, he won't take him seriously. What about the children? Call them Mommy? Does he have that ability? Yu Songhuan, who was comforted, didn't look better. Instead, he looked even worse. I don't want to lead the two children astray. Lan Wanra didn't say anything. She didn't need to say anything anymore. She had already said what she needed to say. At least now, she wasn't the only one who was objecting to this matter. Presumably, everyone who heard such a ridiculous thing wouldn't feel comfortable. Yu Songhuan would only be more annoyed than she was. He was her biological son and the person in charge of T. She definitely couldn't let such news spread to others. In the castle's dining room, the two babies were eating happily. Tang Bao looked at them and thought that it was fortunate that they were twins. Otherwise, she wouldn't feel at ease letting Xiao Bao go to school alone. She might even be secretly observing them in school every day. Although her Bao was more reassuring, she still had to take care of his young heart. Tang Bao said to Di Hao Yin, I want to bring them to school to familiarize themselves with it. School hasn't started yet, right? It's good to familiarize themselves with it more. No need. Why not? They're going to school soon. Won't they be afraid of an unfamiliar environment? Tang Bao asked worriedly. Di Hao Yin asked the two babies, Are you afraid? The two little heads shook at the same time. Tang Bao didn't want them to be nervous. She felt that it was beneficial to do homework in advance. She asked, There are indeed many children in school, but you don't know any of them. Won't you be nervous? Bao said, I'm also a stranger to them. I'll be with brother. I'm not afraid. Xiao Bao giggled. Tang Bao was speechless. It seemed that her worries were unnecessary. However, she thought for a while and said to Di Hao Yin, Let the two of them sit in one class and one seat. Chapter 837. Tang Bao snorted disdainfully in her heart. Why didn't you say that you would listen to me just now? Xiao Bao was the happiest. Yay, I can sit with my brother now. When I grow up, I want to sit with my brother too. I will never be separated from my brother. Tang Bao looked at her and smiled. When you grow up, you can still sit with your brother. Why not? Xiao Bao thought of something and asked, My brother and I can live and sleep together like daddy and mommy. In that case, are we going to get married? Brother, let's get married, okay? Bao looked at her. Tang Bao was speechless. This little rascal was thinking too much. However, she felt that she was not imposing enough. Hence, she kept hinting at Di Hao Yin with her eyes. It's time for you to shine. However, at this critical moment, Di Hao Yin did not seem to understand her. He only looked at Tang Bao with an affectionate gaze. She's as cute as you. Tang Bao's eyelids twitched. I don't have any intention of marrying my brother. However, when they got into the car, Di Hao Yin held her waist and devoured her little mouth. Don't. Di Hao Yin, what are you doing? Tang Bao, who was released from his little mouth, tried to wipe the saliva on her mouth with her hand, but was stopped by Di Hao Yin. Who told you to wipe it? Can I wipe it? What do two people need to have a stable relationship? Di Hao Yin asked. What? Tang Bao was stunned. Reciprocity demands reciprocity. Tang Bao thought for a while, and then her face turned red. She looked at him uncertainly. By reciprocity, don't tell me. You want me to kiss you back? Di Hao Yin's dark eyes were deep and affectionate, but the corners of his mouth were raised in a devilish arc. This person, can reciprocity be used in this way? You might as well just say that he was evil. You have a problem with that? Do you have to be so evil? Tang Bao glared at him with a flushed face. Her watery eyes were not threatening at all. Taking the initiative to kiss is evil? I'll be even more evil if you don't kiss me. Di Hao Yin's black eyes glowed with a dangerous green light. Tang Bao did not dare to ask Di Hao Yin what would happen. That was a scene that could make one blush just thinking about it. Therefore, Tang Bao had no choice but to quickly kiss Di Hao Yin's thin lips under Di Hao Yin's beast-like gaze. Originally, this kind of action was nothing, but being stared at by Di Hao Yin's dark eyes was definitely abnormal. It was full of the danger of being swallowed by Di Hao Yin again at any time. Forget it, let me do it. Just when Tang Bao felt that it was enough, she heard Di Hao Yin say what? Oh, Tang Bao's clear eyes widened. She could not believe that Di Hao Yin really kissed her again. Tang Bao could not believe it. After this torment, Tang Bao's breathing quickened and her face turned red. She wanted to cry, but had no tears. Di Haoyan did it on purpose. Just when she was about to take the initiative, Di Haoyan's dark eyes had already started to feel that something was wrong. After the kiss, Tang Bao leaned against Di Haoyan's arms out of breath. Di Haoyan's voice was hoarse. "One day I'll die in your hands." Di Haoyan raised his eyebrows evilly. "How will I die?" Tang Bao covered her eyes with the back of her hand in despair. She did not know that by doing so, her exposed little mouth would be even more conspicuous. Therefore, Di Haoyan pecked it again. "That's enough." Tang Bao quickly grabbed Di Haoyan's hair and pulled it away. She glared at him and said, "Are you done? I still have something to settle with you." "What is it?" Di Haoyan asked, but his dark eyes kept staring at Tang Bao's little mouth. "I don't believe that you couldn't read my eyes when we were having breakfast." Tang Bao was unhappy. "Are you referring to the fact that they want to get married? Isn't that a problem?" Tang Bao was surprised by Di Haoyan's calmness. "I'm just saying, don't take it seriously. Then you should at least correct me. What if Xiao Bao says that she wants to marry her brother in front of her classmates? Won't she be laughed at?" Tang Bao was more thoughtful. "No, Bao is here. Bao is only 3 years old." Tang Bao reminded him. No matter how smart Bao was, he was still a child. "I have confidence in my son. Besides, didn't you call me Big Brother before? Why don't you call me that now?" Tang Bao's face twitched. "How is that the same? Call me that again." Di Haoyan looked at her with deep, loving eyes. "I won't call you that." Tang Bao only called him that to coax Di Haoyan. "You won't call me that? Are you sure?" Di Haoyan narrowed his dark eyes with a hint of danger. Tang Bao bit her lip. The dangerous signal was too obvious. She was still in Di Haoyan's arms. What should she do? "Big Brother. Good girl." Di Haoyan kissed her little mouth. Tang Bao blushed. What kind of hobby was this? Pervert. When they arrived at tea, Tang Bao wanted to go to the studio, but Di Haoyan grabbed her waist. Tang Bao panicked. "Hey, I'm a man now. Can you not get touchy in tea and cause misunderstandings?" "Don't worry. Everyone in tea knows that I'm only interested in you." Tang Bao thought that when he said not to worry, he would kill all the comments. However, the last sentence made her break down. Fortunately, she was not a man. Otherwise, she would have been ruined by Di Haoyan. "What are you doing?" Tang Bao could not break free and could only ask helplessly. The more she struggled, the more she attracted the attention of passers-by. "The studio is not open yet. What are you going to do? Come with me to the office." Why did Tang Bao not trust Di Haoyan so much? She was very sharp now. She did not give Di Haoyan anything last night. If she really thought that she was going to the office just to sit around, then why would Di Haoyan's gaze be so deep now? No need. I need to check the information online. Also, there will be an interview in the morning. I'll look for you after the interview. Okay? Is that okay? Tang Bao could only coax this beast and smooth its fur. "How long will it take?" "I'll look for you after the interview. It shouldn't take too long." Tang Bao was finally free from Di Haoyan's clutches. She felt that she should drive here herself in the future. If she were to drive with Di Haoyan in the car, it would be like a ticking time bomb that could explode at any time. There was nothing more embarrassing than that. She wondered if Di Haoyan would be willing to do that. Tang Bao went into the studio and turned on the computer. She checked her email. She started to wait for the interviewees. Di Haoyan went into the office, and the secretary followed him in. Di Haoyan asked, "How many shares do we have in the Ivy Group now?" 40%. It's 5% less than the major shareholder. Then think of a way to get control of the Ivy Group. Di Haoyan had not thought much about this before, but it was different now. When the secretary was preparing for the interview, she already knew what to do. The Ivy Group was a private elite school. From kindergarten to university, it belonged to the Ivy Group. Chapter 838. But from the looks of it now, it must be because the children at home wanted to study. Everyone in Teen knew that Di Haotian had a son and a daughter who were very precious to him. To take over the Ivy group for the two children, this kind of courage was too scary. But Tang Bao did not know about this plan. She just felt that Di Haotian was too casual with the two children. Tang Bao interviewed 6 staff members in the studio in the morning and only hired 2. Naturally, the 2 of them also had a 1-month probation period. But Tang Bao believed in her own judgment. The phone on the table rang, and she looked at the message. Di Haotian said, "Are you done?" Tang Bao, "Do you have nothing to do? Do you have so much free time?" Di Haotian, "I'm in a meeting." Tang Bao was stunned. "You're texting me in a meeting?" Di Haotian, "I can do 2 things at once." Tang Bao, "Just focus on your meeting. I'll be done soon." Di Haotian, "What do you want to eat for lunch?" Tang Bao really wanted to laugh. This person was thinking about what she wanted to eat for lunch in a meeting. What would the other executives think of him if they knew? But she felt that Di Haotian would not care. Tang Bao thought for a while and replied, "What I want to eat depends on your performance." Di Haotian, "Whatever you want to eat." Tang Bao was stunned for a moment. Then she smiled and said, "So generous? Then I'll have to think about it carefully." Di Haotian looked at the reply and thought of Tang Bao's current expression. The corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. The executive who was talking saw Di Haotian smile and did not dare to say anything. Why did he suddenly smile? Why did he have a creepy feeling? Zhou Jisen naturally also noticed the expression on Di Haotian's face, but he pretended not to see it. Anyway, he knew what Di Haotian was doing without thinking. Holding a phone. Only men and women in love would hold their phones all the time. Just as Tang Bao was about to put down his phone, he received another text message. Di Haotian, "What? Have you made up your mind?" Tang Bao, "No. Otherwise, you can dig out your heart for me to eat." After replying, Tang Bao thought about what he had said and laughed. He laughed so hard that tears were about to flow out of his eyes. However, at that moment, there was a knock on the door. Could it be that Di Haotian was already here to settle the score with her? When she turned around, she saw someone who surprised her. Yu Songhuan. Yu Songhuan didn't look too good. He walked in and asked, "Did I disturb you?" "No, please take a seat." Tang Bao put away his happy mood and greeted Yu Songhuan. She knew why Yu Songhuan was looking for her. He must have felt indignant that he didn't see her in the castle earlier. Tang Bao turned around and poured a cup of tea for her. "You don't have to pour tea for me. I don't want to drink it. I'm here to talk to you about something. I'll leave after that." Tang Bao didn't continue to pour tea for her and sat down opposite her. Yu Songhuan looked at Tang Bao and disliked her more and more. He only knew that this person was shamelessly seducing his son. When he came in just now, he saw her holding her phone and laughing. She must be with Di Haotian, right? When he thought of this, he couldn't suppress the anger in his heart. "How much do you want?" Tang Bao was stunned. He didn't understand Yu Songhuan's opening words. "What do you mean? Aren't you following my son for money? How much do you want? I'll give it to you, and you'll leave immediately." Why did Tang Bao feel that this conversation was very familiar? Oh, right. When she was still Tang Bao, Yu Songhuan had offered her money like this to make her leave Di Haotian. Tang Bao originally wanted to tell Yu Songhuan the truth and say that she was Tang Bao, but now she didn't want to say it. Even if she said it, she would probably be humiliated. "Do you like to use money to measure people who get close to Di Haotian?" Tang Bao asked. "Isn't that so? A man losing his dignity and following another man. I'm sure there are a lot of such things in the entertainment industry, right? How much money do you want? Just tell me. No matter how much you want, I'll give it to you." Tang Bao knew that Yu Songhuan was rich, but she didn't like money. Yu Songhuan had found the wrong person from the beginning. "Sorry, I'm not following Di Haotian for money. Don't tell me you like him. Can you not discuss me? How can 2 men talk about liking each other? How did your parents teach you to have such a twisted personality?" Tang Bao's expression changed, and her heart sank. "To me, my parents are the best parents in the world. You can criticize me, but don't criticize them. If that's the case, I'm sure you respect and love your parents very much. Why do you still do such a thing? Don't you think for them? It's just like how, as a mother, I don't want my son to have an ambiguous relationship with another man. My parents are definitely not like you. I'm curious about your parents' character. I'm already tolerating you by giving you money. Don't pretend to be virtuous in front of me. Take the money and leave quickly. Yu Songhuan directly placed the card in front of Tang Bao. Tang Bao looked at the card and thought that it wasn't even as much as the pocket money Di Haoyan gave her. However, even if it was more than what Di Haoyan gave her, she wouldn't care about it. She pushed the card in front of Yu Songhuan and said, "Take it back. I don't want it. If you really have a lot of money, you can spend it on your grandchildren. As for me, you can ignore me. Aren't you going to ask how much money is in there? I'm still willing to give you money now. So take it. Otherwise, if Di Haoyan abandons you one day, you won't have a single cent. How much money? Even if there's 10 billion or 100 billion in there, I won't take it. Leave." Tang Bao didn't want to talk to her anymore. She stood up. Yu Songhuan stood up angrily and said, "What do you want?" "I want your son," Tang Bao blurted out. You're really smart. If you want my son, you'll need more than 100 billion. You got a good plan." Yu Songhuan was shaking with anger. Ever since she entered the wealthy family, Li Yuhuai was not the only person she had to deal with. None of them were so difficult to deal with. Di Haoyan is in a meeting right now. If he finds out that you're here after the meeting, he won't let you off easily. I don't want you to fight with each other. You'd better leave. Tang Bao reminded her kindly. No matter how much she and Yu Songhuan didn't see eye to eye, she didn't want them to fight because of her. She knew Di Haoyan's temper all too well. It was impossible for Yu Songhuan not to understand his son's character. Don't doubt my words. Di Haoyan can see the surveillance cameras outside. Tang Bao was telling the truth. I'll leave the card here. You'd better think carefully. If I threaten Di Haoyan with my life, do you really think you'll have a good ending? Yu Songhuan was never someone who would threaten with his life. It was obvious that she was at her wit's end. She would never let Di Haoyan have another man. After saying that, she turned and left. Chapter 839. The phone on the table rang. Tang Bao walked over and looked at the caller ID. She calmed herself down and answered the call. Di Haoyan's deep and unhappy voice came from the other end. "You're not done yet. I wanted to wait for you to finish your meeting before going over. Come over now," Di Haoyan said in a domineering tone. "Okay." Tang Bao hung up the phone. She picked up the card on the coffee table and put it into her briefcase. She would return it to Yu Songhuan later. What did you want her money for? When Tang Bao entered the emperor family, no one stopped her. She was unimpeded. She might be the only one who could enter without the T logo. When she reached her floor, the elevator door opened. Tang Bao walked out of the elevator but stopped in her tracks. She saw Di Haoyan leaning against the elevator door in a lazy manner. "Are you waiting for me here?" Tang Bao asked. "Yes." Tang Bao was speechless. "I told you I was coming over. You told me half an hour ago that you would come over immediately," Di Haoyan pointed out. Tang Bao did not say anything. "Isn't that because your mother is here? Otherwise, I wouldn't be so slow." "I'm hungry." Tang Bao changed the topic. She knew that as long as she said she was hungry, Di Haoyan would definitely not ignore her. Di Haoyan walked past her, took her hand, and walked into his office with a silent dominance. Tang Bao went into the office and thought that Di Haoyan was going to take something and leave with her. She did not expect him to go straight into Di Haoyan's private dining room. As soon as she entered, she saw all kinds of exquisite and delicious dishes on the dining table in front of the floor-to-ceiling windows. The fragrance assailed his nostrils, making Tang Bao's stomach really hungry. Di Haoyan took her briefcase and put it aside. "Go wash your hands." "Okay." Tang Bao turned around and washed her hands. After washing her hands, she went to the dining table with Di Haoyan. "Slow down, don't choke." Di Haoyan frowned. "No." Tang Bao chewed the meat and said, "This meat is so tender and fragrant." "Then eat more." Di Haoyan scooped soup for her and placed it in front of her. "Drink some soup. Don't choke." Tang Bao scooped up a mouthful of food with a spoon. After swallowing all the food in his mouth, he asked, "Di Haoyan, which new restaurant made these dishes?" "Every dish is unique." "6 restaurants." "What do you mean?" "Every restaurant has 2 specialties." The Tang Bao froze in the middle of scooping soup. Aren't you exaggerating? Don't you like to eat? The Tang Bao did like to eat, but he had never seen such exaggerated dishes. If you like to eat, you can change restaurants next time. You don't have to go to 6 restaurants, do you? Every restaurant has ordinary dishes other than specialties. Of course, they have to give you the best, Di Haoqian said matter-of-factly. Tang Bao looked at the 12 dishes in front of him. There were so many that he would definitely not be able to finish them. Ever since she met Di Haoqian, these were nothing to her. She was used to it. However, this was the first time she had heard of going to 6 restaurants. However, she had never had the chance to eat with Di Haoqian like this in tea. She had once, when Di Haoqian had lost his memory. He would definitely not care about her tastes and hobbies. Her studio was just next door. Would she eat like this in the future? She felt that according to her normal income, the money she made would only be enough for her to eat for a month. She would have to scrimp on the rest. When the studio opens in the future, I won't come over to eat. I don't want to run around like this. It's troublesome. Tang Bao did not want to be so high profile. Okay. Tang Bao approved in her heart. He took her words to heart. Call the dishes to your office. I'll go over to eat, Di Haoqian added. Tang Bao's expression froze. Forget it. Just pretend that she didn't say anything. This person was really unreasonable. He must be used to being in control. After eating and drinking to her heart's content, Tang Bao collapsed on the sofa and rubbed her stomach. I ate too much. Di Haoqian looked at her with a deep smile. He took her briefcase and pulled her up. Let's go to my office. I don't want to move. Then I'll carry you. Tang Bao immediately stood up and walked in front of Di Haoqian faster than anything else. They walked out of his private restaurant and went to Di Haoqian's office. Along the way, there were still people who looked at her respectfully. However, when they saw Di Haoqian appear behind her, they immediately lowered their heads and stood aside respectfully. When Di Haoqian walked past them, they walked away in fear. After arriving at Di Haoqian's office, Tang Bao still collapsed on the sofa. She felt that she had become lazy after eating. She was unguarded and lazy. The figure next to her came over, hugged her, and kissed her hard. He even touched her all over? No. Why not? You didn't even let me touch you last night. Di Haoqian was like a pitiful beast. He only had that in his mind. Compared to before, I'm like a monk. Tang Bao's mouth twitched. Monk? He actually said that he was a monk? How could he have the nerve to say that? Although it was not every day, he had not been mistreated every week. Who did it every time I couldn't get out of bed in the morning? Me? You know that, and you still have the cheek to call yourself a monk? Then tell me, compared to before, am I almost as pure as a monk? Di Haoqian's thin lips were about to move forward again. Tang Bao avoided him. You're exaggerating. Hey, Di Haoqian, stop it. Di Haoqian stopped. His dark eyes were shining like a wolf's. In an hour. When did she agree to it? Di Haoqian reached out and pinched her chin lovingly. Where's your cell phone? In my briefcase. Di Haoqian stood up. Tang Bao heaved a sigh of relief and leaned her head against the back of the sofa. She had finally gotten rid of this person. But what did he want her cell phone for? Tang Bao squinted her eyes like a lazy cat basking in the sun. The next second, her eyes suddenly widened in shock. She quickly stood up. Don't touch my briefcase. Her words stopped abruptly. Tang Bao saw that Di Haoqian was holding a card between his fingers. It was the card that Yu Songhuan had given her an hour and a half ago. Tang Bao's body stiffened. This person should not be able to tell that there was something wrong with this card, right? It was normal to have an extra card in one's briefcase. Di Haoqian looked at her sharply with his long and narrow eyes. Are you that nervous? Of course not. Tang Bao walked forward. You want my cell phone? I want to help you. As she spoke, she walked in front of Di Haoqian and was about to take the card from him. Di Haoqian retracted his hand, and she missed. Where did you get the card from? Di Haoqian asked. It's mine. You don't have this card in your wallet. I want to get it done this morning. I need to transfer money, so I want to get one. Chapter 840. It's just a card. Why would I lie? Besides, How can you say that I'm lying? All the bank cards this year have a starting number of 8. Your card is still a 6, which means that it's an old card. Did you do it today? Do you want me to investigate whether you've been to the bank? Di Hao Yin looked at her with deep and stern eyes. Tang Bao was speechless. Di Hao Yin was indeed Di Hao Yin. He even found out about it. What a shrewd man. What's going on? Di Hao Yin asked when he saw that she was hesitating to speak. Your mother came to me and gave me money to buy some food for your son and daughter. Tang Bao looked into Di Hao Yin's dark eyes and immediately told him the truth. Okay, she gave me money to leave you. Di Hao Yin looked at her coldly. The aura around him was so intimidating. I accepted it because I was going to return it to her. Tang Bao knew what Di Hao Yin was thinking. He thought that she had accepted the money, right? What kind of person do you think I am? If I leave you, why do you need to give me money? If I don't leave you, it's useless even if you give me money. I don't care about it. Di Hao Yin restrained his anger, but his face was still cold. He did not say a word. The whole office was especially oppressive. I didn't tell you because I wanted to solve it myself. I don't want you to have a conflict with her because of me. She's doing this for your own good. Think about it. If her Bao brings a man home one day, won't I have a heart attack? I wanted to tell her that I'm Tang Bao, but I thought about it and decided not to. Di Hao Yin did not ask why Tang Bao did not say anything. He was sure that Tang Bao did not say anything because Yu Sanghuan said something unpleasant. However, even if Tang Bao said that, Di Hao Yin's face was still cold. Even if you want to solve it yourself, you shouldn't hide it from me. I'm afraid that you'll go look for your mother. Di Hao Yin did not say anything. He threw the card aside and took out his phone from his Tang Bao bag. He then turned around and walked to his desk. Tang Bao looked at his back and asked, "What are you doing with my phone?" Di Hao Yin did not say anything. After a while, he turned around and handed the phone to Tang Bao. Tang Bao saw that the mobile phone in Di Hao Yin's hand had changed. It looked exactly the same as the mobile phone Di Hao Yin had given her. Use this in the future. Put the card in, Di Hao Yin said. Tang Bao took it from him. When his palm touched the phone, he felt a sense of nostalgia. At that time, Di Hao Yin had given her 2 phones of this model, but she had destroyed them both. At that time, she liked this style very much. However, after leaving Di Hao Yin, she felt that some things did not belong to her no matter how much she liked them. My phone is fine. Why did you change it for me? This phone style is exclusive to you. What do you mean? You just need to know that it's not available on the market. I'm not such a domineering person. It doesn't matter. Tang Bao said this, but there was a sweet taste in her heart for no reason. You are unique in my heart. Naturally, the things you use are also unique, Di Hao Yin said firmly. Tang Bao pursed her lips. She did not want to smile too obviously. Otherwise, wouldn't she be showing her inner emotions on her face? Don't think that I won't be angry just because of this. Di Hao Yin's expression suddenly changed. Tang Bao stared blankly for a moment. This person was really too unpredictable. Tang Bao knew why he was angry. Then what can I do to make you not angry? You know what you're doing. How about I serve you in an hour? I can think about it. Tang Bao turned around and looked at the wine cabinet. How about you give me some wine? Wine? After drinking wine, I'll be braver. Tang Bao said with a slightly red face. She believed that with Di Hao Yin's IQ, he would not be unable to understand. It's bad for your health. You're not allowed to drink. Di Hao Yin thought of how Tang Bao drank wine earlier, and his expression turned cold. Tang Bao did not say anything, but in her heart, she thought, I thought you wouldn't care about anything for your own comfort. This made Tang Bao very satisfied. Therefore, when they were in the lounge in the afternoon, no matter how Di Hao Yin treated Tang Bao, she could not say anything. She could only gasp for breath. Tang Bao did not come out of the lounge for the whole afternoon. Di Hao Yin finally got the opportunity. How could he let her go so easily? Di Hao Yin breathed heavily and kissed her flushed little face. Bao, what's wrong? How am I going to walk out of tea later? Tang Bao breathed heavily. It was already dangerous for her to walk out of tea now. Was she going to be carried out? Carrying a man? Did it have to be so exciting? Could she please consider the feelings of the tea staff? Then we'll stay here tonight. No, I want to go back for dinner. Then let's do it again. Tang Bao definitely did not want Di Hao Yin to carry her. She wanted to walk on her own. However, when her feet touched the ground, she fell to the ground. Fortunately, Di Hao Yin caught her in time. Otherwise, she would have fallen hard. Let go of me. I'll walk out on my own. Tang Bao insisted. I've asked someone to clear the outside. After entering my personal elevator, it will go straight to the underground parking lot. No one will see you. Di Hao Yin comforted her. He did not forget to kiss her lips. Are you sure no one will see us? Tang Bao asked with uncertainty. No, they won't. After being carried out of the office by Di Hao Yin, she did not see anyone. After entering the elevator, Tang Bao looked up and saw the surveillance camera. She asked Di Hao Yin, did anyone see this? Yes. Didn't you say no? Does this count? Why doesn't it count? If they spout nonsense, I'll cut off their tongues. Do you know what they're talking about behind your back? Tang Bao was unhappy. Why? Are you so afraid of people finding out? You're my wife. We're legally married. What are you worried about? I'm not worried. I'm not T's staff anyway. Don't you care that people are talking about you behind your back? You even ignored work for the whole afternoon and went out with a man in your arms. I don't care. Di Hao Yin looked at her with his dark eyes, full of interest. It was really as he said. He did not care at all. Tang Bao bit her lip and buried her head in Di Hao Yin's broad shoulder. She said sulkily, Is it too late for me to cover my face now? Why don't you guess? It's too late. Tang Bao was so angry that she opened her mouth and bit Di Hao Yin's shoulder. She even bit his clothes. She was not happy with the bite and let go. Be good. I'll let you bite me when we get back in the car. Di Hao Yin doted on Tang Bao. After they got into the car, Di Hao Yin really took off his jacket and let her bite him. Tang Bao did not feel anything. I'm not biting anymore. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.